Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ade, I'm the veteran arcade soldier and I'm here with a live stream today of the big international friendly between England and New Zealand in preparation for the upcoming FIFA World Cup 2026, which is taking place in America, and I really can't wait. So we've got a fabulous game in store for us tonight, and it's going to be really interesting to see how, the UK's home nation, as in our home nation, England, is going to be getting on. Now, not everyone is a big England supporter, but at the end of the day, we need to cheer on the Three Lions and bring back a bit of the passion and nostalgia from the past. And let's just hope that the boys can do it because they are representing England. We also have, obviously, Scotland there as well from the UK, so it's going to be a fantastic tournament. So I've already seen there's a few people in the chat, which is very nice. Hello, Natasha. How are you? Nice to see you. Hi, I hope you're okay. I'm actually very well, thank you. I've had a nice week and a half since the football season ended. Natasha says, I see Liverpool have set a price tag of £30 million on Curtis Jones. And yes, you see Liverpool have Iraola now. Yes. What do you think of that? How do you feel about that? I know you were strong on getting, what's his name? The Germany manager. But obviously we've ended up with Andoni Iraola. So what do you think? I'm hoping that Curtis Jones can stay, to be honest. But I'm not sure. I feel like Liverpool are going to need to cash in, Natasha. So not quite sure how it's going to happen. What do you think? And how are you doing? I hope you are well. So yes, I'm just going to be getting ready for the stream in the background. But obviously feel free to talk in the background. Always an absolute pleasure. Yeah, I know what you mean. What I do, Natasha, let me, I'm going to change the thingy so that you don't have to leave the gap, because I think I've got a 30-second delay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change that so that you can type a bit faster. Let me change that. Edits. Customization. Slow mode. 15. Right. So after you saw the interview, you're very happy with it. I tend to agree. It's funny, isn't it? Because when he was the Bournemouth manager, I probably saw some post-match interviews and whatnot. That was about it. But I've never really listened to the man. But I watched the interview like yourself. And he comes across very charming, a little bit shy as well. But he seemed like he's very authoritative. He seemed like he bought into the fact he's Liverpool manager. And, he said, look, Liverpool is Liverpool. It's, this is what I'm here for. I'm here to take that big step. So, yeah, I'm really excited by it. Natasha said, I think Liverpool have someone very special in Iraola. I think you're right. I think, obviously he plays the right kind of football as well. Bournemouth, very exciting. But he just seems like he's got that good energy as well. Something that you can something very honest and kind of pure about the way he talks. So I really liked it as well. And also, I don't know if you saw, Natasha, did you see what he said about the 2-year contract? Let me know if you saw that. And if you didn't, I'll explain. Natasha says, and I think Liverpool will challenge for the title. It's definitely a possibility. Obviously, it all comes down to the, which squad players we can get. But I'm quietly optimistic. I think if we give... oh, you did, yeah? So, yeah, I think if we get the right signings, then there is definitely no reason why we couldn't. But I really like that about the contract because he's not saying, yeah, give me 4 years, and if I fail after 1 or 2, you sack me and I get £12 million payoff. He's like, no. Give me a 2-year contract. After 1 year, if I'm doing well, maybe you extend me for 1 more or 2 more, whatever. And then we go like that. He wants to earn it. And that just goes to show his mentality is spot on. And that's just what we need. He wants to keep himself hungry so he can keep the club and the players hungry, which is important. He wants Rayan and Krupi to join him at Liverpool as well. Yeah, that's the rumour as well. I would like both players. Definitely Krupi I'd rather have over Rayan. I'm not so sure about Rayan. It's too early. And he did look dangerous at times when I saw games in play, but it's not like he scored a lot of goals. Krupi scored a lot of goals, and I think he'd be the one to go for at Bournemouth. I like Alex Scott at Bournemouth as well. I think he's very good. But yeah, I don't want to do too much of the Bournemouth, like let's get every good Bournemouth player, because at the end of the day, there's a reason why there's 6. And I know obviously that comes down to it because there's obviously more players that make a squad, but we need to just not be doing too much of this raiding the old club for everything. We've already got Richard Hughes, we've already got Iraola now, maybe 1 or 2, and then obviously let's spread it around and get some players. But Krupa I would like, but the problem with Bournemouth is that they're going to charge crazy money for everything, which is not ideal, obviously. But glad that you're happy with the thing. It makes next season more exciting to look forward to, right? Because I was not looking forward to under slot, as you know, and I don't think you were either. And I see Liverpool have held talks with Aston Villa's goalkeeper as he wants to leave Aston Villa. Well, do you know what? I mean, yeah, I heard that rumour as well. Obviously, there's rumours now that we might be definitely keeping Alisson, which I'd rather that above all of them, if he can stay fit. But I think, I don't know if you was in the stream at the time when I was talking about Marmadashvili, Natasha, I'm not convinced. I don't think he's ready, and I don't think he'll ever be good enough, in my opinion. So, you know, I wouldn't mind Martinez for a couple of years while we find a long-term solution. I'd rather keep Alisson for a couple more years, but Marmadashvili, I don't think it's going to work out, in my opinion. So, yeah, we definitely need a lot of players. How many players do you think we need in the summer? What do you think? Hello guys, how you doing? Hope you're well. Yo to you. Yeah, all good, thank you. How is things yourself? Enjoying the weather's calmed down a bit now, so you know we're not all roasting. And now the football's going to be on in the evenings as well, so it's cool times ahead. Right, so while we're chatting away, I'm just going to bring up the team sheets so we can see how England are lining up. So give me 1 second. So let's go through the lineup as I like to do before the games. So we have we have England, who are managed by Thomas Tuchel. Not a manager I'm amazingly enamoured with, in all honesty. And he's playing a 4-2-3-1 system. We've got Jordan Pickford in goal, Jarell Quansah starting at right back, John Stones, who was a bit of a surprise inclusion in the squad, Mark Gahey. We've got Jed Spence at left back, Jordan Henderson, Kobbie Mainoo in central midfield. So not a lot of legs there. We've got Morgan Rogers playing off the right, Watkins just behind Harry Kane up top, and we've got Marcus Rashford off the left. So quite an experimental lineup, I would say. I don't think this would be the team that's starting the first game in the World Cup group stages, but we shall see. So New Zealand, we have their manager, Darren Baisley. They're also playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. In goal, they have Crocombe, right back Payne, Sermon, who was in the Premier League for Norwich a few seasons back, Boxall, Kakashi, Bell, Stamanic in midfield. We've got Just on the right, Singh who is playing attacking midfield. Gareth on the left, and in support of striker Chris Wood, who we know from the Premier League with Nottingham Forest. The subs are Elliot Anderson, Jude Bellingham, Dan Burn, Anthony Gordon, Dean Henderson, Reece James, Joshua King. So the youngster is getting on the bench. Ezri Konsa, Tino Livramento, Rio Ingamoa, Liverpool's Rio Ingamoa, playing number 31. Ethan Wanyeri, didn't even realise he was there as part of the extra 6 that have been taken. Nico O'Reilly, Alex Scott from Bournemouth, Ivan Toney, and James Trafford. And we have a lot of New Zealand players, not that I know many of them to be honest. We've got Barbarouzas, Bayliss, Bindon, Elliott, McCowett, Old, Paulson, Pinyaka, Randall, Rufer, Smith, Wayne, Wood, and DeFries. So yeah, I do not know any of those New Zealand players, but it is what it is. But yeah, kickoff is 9 o'clock, so kickoff in about 17 minutes. So those are your lineups. So all very good. Hope everyone is good in the chat. Can I please remind just a few of you that are here, and obviously anyone else that joins me, please do hit the like button. It does help the video and it does help the channel. So please do hit that like button. As you can see in the corner, I've got the double graphics in the corner, just to remind you to like and subscribe. So on that note, yeah, please do fire away and let me know how you're doing in the chats. And put your match prediction in. I'm going to put mine in. Going off of what I've seen of those lineups, I think it's going to be a tight game, potentially. I'm going for a 2-1 England victory. Hey Peter, how you doing, bro? How's things? Hope you're well. How's your day been so far? And what do you think of the England? And more importantly, obviously from being up on Merseyside yourself, obviously I know how it is up there with their views, the Liverpool views and whatnot. Not the biggest England supporting part of the country, but what is your thoughts on it? Are you an England follower? Do you follow the England national team? Do you root for the Three Lions, or are you kind of a little bit, I just like the football and I'll just support who's doing the business? Let me know what you think. And obviously feel free to put your prediction in the chat as well. So yes. And if you're there, Natasha, let us know your prediction. Let us know what you think as well. All good. As well as yourselves, Cam and Gary. Thank you. I'll put the lineups back up in case you want to let those guide your prediction. Yep, so I've got a few predictions in the chat. Gary going for a 2-0 England and a 1-0 from Cam. So yes, I think there won't be too much in these kind of warm-up games. Players aren't going to want to get themselves injured, etc. And teams are going to be taking it easy at the end of the day. The big kickoff is next week. Nobody wants to be getting an injury and going home early from America. But yes, very much looking forward to seeing how, England are warming up ahead of the tournament. So yes, all good, all good. just to let anybody know that wants to have a chat in the meantime, is that I've set the counter to just a 15-second delay so you can kind of type a bit more frequently, etc., without the big lags. So yes. So we've got kickoff in 13 minutes. Peter, did you see the Andoni Iraola press conference as well? Not press conference, so the welcome video as well. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. Hydrated for the game. Peter says, good evening, Cameron and chat. Well, very well, mate. Hope you're good. Excellent. Camaraderie, that's what we like. And also, anyone, what's your early predictions for the tournament itself? I'm leaning towards, obviously you have the obvious favourites, of which, you know, England will be one of those. They'll be up near the top. I'll put them just inside the tier below. But the obvious favourites are, you know, Spain and France as the top two. But I'm going for Argentina. I think they're third favourites at the moment, but I think Argentina have what it takes to get it done again. That's my belief. Peter says, I'm not fussed at all about England, to be honest. Seems like a click. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes, men managers. Yeah, I know what I mean. Yeah, that whole Gareth Southgate era didn't really appeal to me. Obviously, I wanted them to win, and when they got to the Euros finals, I want them to win it both times. But yeah, I don't like the operation at the FA, like you're saying. Basically, yeah, it is a bit. There's nothing attractive about it, to be honest. But you know, sadly, I mean, I think this generation of players is it's a decent crop. I think it was stronger a few years ago, and obviously 20 years ago when you had the Gerrard, Lampard, Owen, Rooney, and Sol Campbell, and all these guys. That was a different level. David Beckham, that was a different level. Whereas these guys, they're not at that level. But international football isn't what it was anyway. So this group is definitely strong enough to do something. But you'd imagine if they have to get past the France, Spain, or Argentina in a row to win it, nah, they're not strong enough for that, in my opinion. English selection should be based on meritocracy, based on form. Yeah, it should be. But this is the thing: some people just go just based on either reputation or what they've done for a manager in the past or how that manager viewed them in the past. Case in point, John Stones. This guy jumped into the chat. Johan Garing, ESPN-TVS.com, England vs New Zealand live. Well, cheers for that. We've got it live over here, Johan. But anyway, welcome to the chat. Johan, if you're there and you want to chat, let us know. Lovely to have people in. And yes, we have... it's on our national channel over here, our normal channel we have it, Johan. But yeah, Pete, I was saying... taking John Stones. Nothing wrong with John Stones, the player. A little bit overrated in his time. But he's a good centre-back. And if he had been fit all this season, he probably would go. And you would imagine he would go. But to take this man... and he's only had 4 starts. He's just incredible, really. Absolutely incredible. Hello, Re-TV tradition for. Are you mad? No Liverpool player never made it to the World Cup squad. No Liverpool armpits in the air when England. I know. It's mad. It's the first time apparently in, I can't remember the amount of time. I don't know what to call you. Yeah, Rhett. I'll just call you Rhett. How you doing, Rhett? Night. Welcome to the channel, mate. But yeah, no Liverpool players, which is a joke. Not even players that's played for Liverpool barely there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's wild, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I still want England to lift the World Cup anyway. Rhett, where are you from, mate? And who do you support? Let us know in the chat. All inclusive here. Not all about positive vibes. No negativity. I'm not here hating on other teams and all that. It's just about good vibes, having a chat, having a laugh, etc. Good people in the chat. Enjoy the game. Talk about the game. And that's what it's all about. So if you want that kind of community, a little bit of atmosphere, then feel free to stick around, have a chat. My name is Ade, the veteran arcade soldier. Got some nice people in the chat. And feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are getting underway in 7 minutes for the kickoff. I don't know how much of the World Cup everyone's going to be watching. Obviously, it depends where you're based in the world. You know, the internet has changed the dynamics for everybody. But there's so many matches kicking off at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and whatnot for our time UK. But obviously, if you live in a certain part of the world, then you're going to have access to a lot of the games. But I'm pretty sure there's some games kicking off at 5 in the morning. Absolutely wild. Peter says, I think it's returned to tradition. He used a V instead of a U. I do that when texting, so it gave me a chuckle. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I hear that. Rhett says, not going to lie, it's a shame the World Cup final venue is going to be a soulless NFL stadium with 10 miles of car park when it should have been the Estadio Azteca, which is steeped in football heritage. Do you know something, Rhett? I'm assuming that you're from the States yourself, because over here in Europe or the UK, we wouldn't know about what the stadiums are like and whatnot. Obviously, NFL soulless stadium, so yeah, it is a shame, but honestly, there's been... you from here? Okay, cool. Well, you obviously just know your stuff about NFL then and whatnot. Fair enough, bro. Let us know who your club sided as well. But yeah, you know something? Yeah, obviously we've heard all the stories about, how much the World Cup prices are and the travel and how everything's been bumped up to crazy proportions. And it's just a massive cash grab. And, this is the game that we've known and loved as kids and whatnot. And they're just out to make a buck. Literally. Those American dollars. Disgusting. Oh, return to... Oh, okay, got you. Oh, I see what you mean. Got you. I'm with you now, Peter. I'm clued up now. Oh, I see what you mean by the YouTube. Oh, I got you. Yeah. Whoa, Natasha with that breaking news. If that happens, we are biting their hand off. I mean, to be honest with you, Natasha, if they come with 55, they can have him. But yeah, there's rumours of it, and they was talking about what's it called? De Zerbi really likes Gakpo, and rumours that he might have helped put in a transfer request. If they tapped him up or spoken to him and they want him, they can have him. Give us 60 million, we reinvest it, no problem. What do you think of that, Natasha? Would you take that deal? I'd definitely take 73. Return to tradition says Chelsea fan. London's first. London's fight. Pride of London. Good man. And still the only London team to say they've won the Champions League. So I'm sure you were chuffed when the Gooners went down on penalties. Am I right? But yeah, Stamford Bridge. I've been to the bridge once, mate. I went there to see Chelsea v Bolton. Saw a young Sturridge come off the bench for you guys back then before he joined our boys. Drogba, Lamps, I saw those guys there. So yeah, nice stadium as well, and whatnot. So, but I'm sure, obviously, well, like your name suggests, you want to see a return to better standards at the Bridge. Where do you stand? Did you go on the marches earlier this season? And what do you feel about the whole Xabi Alonso appointment? Let me know. Right, I'll just put the team sheets on. And I'll get my headphones ready. Oh, you was there at the Blue Co protest. Okay, mate. Yeah, well, that's... Mate, you have to. You got to do... That's the thing. We love football. You know, we follow it our whole lives. Once it's got hooked into you, you can't get rid of it. But there's so little we can do. Do you know what I mean? There's so little we can do. But things like that, going on marches, making our voices heard in terms of maybe not, you know, buying into... like the club in terms of buying all the latest shirts and all that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, some of these corporations, a lot of it, you know, obviously American companies coming in and just trying to, you know, strangle the league in a way. Do you know what I mean? Xabi Alonso is good, but these owners won't help him. I hear what you're saying, mate. Originally, I did want Xabi Alonso at Liverpool, but obviously our club didn't want to bring him in for their reasons. I think he'd do well. He's obviously an up and coming manager. He's pretty much known as basically the world's most up-and-coming young super manager. He's meant to be the one that follows on from the, you know, your legend, Mourinho, from years back. But yeah, I can't imagine them... Basically, for them to bring in Alonso, though, return, I feel they must have made him promises. Because there's no way they're just going to just let him keep having 23, 24-year-olds. Now, at the end there, with Chelsea... there's going to come a point where they're going to mature naturally anyway. So within 2-3 years, if Enzo stays, Caicedo, Palmer, all these guys, they're all going to end up being around 26, 27, hitting their straps all at the same time. So they're always going to hit an elite level anyway, because there's enough quality there. But they just need some older heads. So what they're doing, I don't know. Absolute criminal. Peter says, that's the problem. Your club can be hijacked by a corporation. Look at United. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Absolutely stuffed Man United, haven't they? You know, for 20 years. But imagine if Man United hadn't been bought out by the Glazers. The whole league would have been locked off by now. They've got so much money. We'd all be under the thumb of United. So it's kind of worked out. But I don't really like to see what's happened to United in off the pitch. It's disgusting, really. Peter says we should buy 51% of our clubs. Bit like the German model. Exactly, I agree. Return says American owners are a massive problem. These owners have made promises to every manager since sacking Tuchel. They have, mate. They have. Your club, mate, they are... Chelsea is just... They are just a basket case. They are an absolute shambles. But the mad thing is, all the money they've spent, they're still on the cusp of having a really good team. But obviously, you need to get them 3 or 4 signings to help the youngsters along. Peter says, when you see fans thirsty for an all-state ownership makes me feel awful. I know, mate, because that's the problem with football fans. There's that level. You want to win, but you want to win at all costs, and that ain't right. It's not about winning at all costs. You don't sell your soul. And that's what Return is saying. It's like Chelsea, with these owners coming in, they've sold their soul. Now, you get good American owners, and you get bad American owners, or consortiums, and they are definitely a bad one. Liverpool's one, there's a few mistakes they've made, but on the whole, they're decent owners. Can't complain. Return says, we used to be serious. 3 billion in debt. Roman let the manager and directors do their job. Yeah, he did. He did, mate. He did. But the problem is as well, but then it's like, even like with Abramovich, all that success. But when it's built on certain things and where money's coming from, that's where people start asking questions. But ultimately, what rich person, through family, historical family and money and wealth and power, all of these people did something dodgy to get that money. So whether we're poor, whether we're working class, middle class, or whatever, what have you, your thoughts on the thingy system. Going back all those years ago, people got their money somehow. And usually it wasn't the right way. Do you know what I mean? Let us know your predictions for the game, guys. And obviously feel free to chat away in the background. Wow, that stadium is empty. So I wonder what these new laws are they're talking about. New football laws. So the game has kicked off. So Return says, I understand. I'm looking for constant glory. It's impossible with football. Roma never changed our identity. Now these owners have made deals with Jay-Z and DJ Khaled. Mate, it's a shambles. But this is the thing. It's like, you know, we all want to win. But we've all been around the game. I don't know how old you are, Return. Let us know, mate. Me and Peter that were chatting away here. We're midway through life, put it that way. We've been around a bit. Not sure how old you are, brother. But yeah, you know, we can't win all the time. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you need to have the lows to appreciate the highs. Do you know what I mean? As much as we'd all want to win all the time, we'd probably get bored silly if we won every season. And obviously the product needs to be, we need to have competition. I do like England playing in a red kit though, traditional. And the lineup is pretty good as well. It's a little bit different. Nice to see people like Jed Spence, Rashford back in as well. Peter says some NBA player owns 2% Liverpool. That's right. So FSG, they sold it to LeBron James, didn't they? 2%. And that 2% they gave him for that small little stakeholder rights, it's worth about... How much is that? How much is his stake worth now? His stake is worth something crazy, like 200, 300 million. Which is what they bought it for in the first place, which is nuts. Right, Rashford with a penalty from the right-hand side. Whipped into the box. Cleared. Cleared by Boxall. Jordan Henderson and Mainu in the midfield. Jesus, there is no legs with that. Right, let's get my clock up, sorry. Jordan Pickford launches one out. He came out very far there. Return says, I'm aware that Chelsea were down in the W in the 80s and I'm still relatively young and I don't want constant glory. I just don't want my club to lose my identity. I hear you, mate. The thing is, Return, so you're fairly young compared to myself and Peter, say. And when I was growing up, Chelsea were a very middle of the road team. Even in some cases, a bit of a yo-yo team. Some seasons they'd go up. Some seasons they would go down, but it would mostly be, you know, in the top division, but never challenging. But, you know, when the money started to come into the Prem a bit, late 90s, Chelsea started to get on that level. And obviously, it all changed once Abramovich came in. Once it came in, that is the biggest change in football history. And, Chelsea, they've had a ride. They've had a wild ride, mate. So, you know, you probably started supporting at the right time, if anything. You've seen some great players. 100%. So get your predictions in the chat, lads. What do you reckon about this game versus New Zealand? And who do you think is going to win the World Cup? Peter says, he's talking to Return. I'm sure Savage used to have disability cards behind the goal years ago as well. Ultimately, we're a heritage club and will last long after all of us. 100%, mate. And that's what football's all about. We're not meant to, you know, and obviously the clubs outlast us. And obviously owners are just custodians. They're meant to be looking after the club, making sure it stays right, keep it moving, don't put it in any trouble, because these things are important for, do you know what I mean? Absolutely important. So... Rashford in the box now. Jinx inside. Edge of the box. Henderson with a shot blocked. So early England pressure. Dominant now. Obviously, you'd imagine England would have most of the play here. It's like a Premier League team versus a Championship team. Return says, ultimately, we're a heritage club. All right, so you did say that. I've read that one. Matt Donut said, the GOAT Tim Payne's playing. Who's your team, Matt? Let us know, mate. And welcome to the channel. My name is Ade, the veteran arcade soldier. We have a nice little community here. Just football fans. No, non-toxic vibes. Just good banter, good laughs. Sharing some stories. Talking about the footy, following it, etc. Depending on how the game is. And, just getting along. Tim Payne. Did he play for Millwall, did he? Tim Payne? Let me know, because I'm not familiar with that player. Harry Kane drops deep. Some nice link-up play. John Stones with a rare appearance for the season. Rashford playing right side. Top man. That's it. So Matt says, support Liverpool. Tim Payne is the New Zealand guy who just randomly got 5 million Instagram followers. I didn't hear about that. What did he do then to get that? Gotta love these interesting stories, right? But yeah, welcome to the channel, Matt. Obviously, big Liverpool fan, as you can see. And we've got different supporters in the channel as well. Just a nice place to come and vibe with people. Nothing just about, oh, right, interesting, okay. Mate, people go viral for all sorts of reasons, but yeah, I've never seen it. Never seen him or even heard of him, to be honest, but yeah. Yeah, please do drop a, yeah, if you're looking for a nice place to come and chill, please do drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel and feel free to chime away, chat away, and yeah, let us know who your picks are for the World Cup, people. I'm predicting an Argentina victory. That's what I believe is going to happen. Obviously, I prefer England to win it, but I don't think that's happening. Chris Wood, the Premier League striker, making his presence known. I still can't believe that he's going for a midfield of Henderson and Mainu. That's got to be one of the worst midfields for legs and mobility in America right now. 100%. Just subscribe, seeing you chill. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate it. Oh, and more importantly, Matt, how are you feeling? Were you slot in or were you slot out? And I'm assuming, well, I don't want to assume because you never know. I put a video on my channel about the place where I live. Most of the Liverpool fans near me, they wanted slot in still, which is incredible. But yeah, I was firmly slot out. And what do you think about Iraola coming in? And obviously share any other bits you want. Same as yourself, return. Anything you want to talk about, mate, the Chelsea news or any speculation, transfers, etc. What your hopes are for the new season. I'm here to chat. Definitely gone. You definitely want him gone. Iraola is a miles better manager. It's looking like that. See, the problem, Jed Spence, edge of the box, lays it back to Mainu. Jordan Henderson, see a lot of the ball, whips one in. Nice ball into the box. Oh, ooh. Not bad, not bad. England looking lively. Iraola is definitely plays the brand of football we want. I still can't believe how Slot went from the brand of football we were playing under Jurgen to that kind of nice mismatch. That nice blend of kind of, we still had that front foot football when we won the league, but that little bit more control. Just keep that. That was good enough. It was still entertaining enough and was successful enough. But what we served up this season, I couldn't believe it. Absolute shambles. All right, England with a corner. Rashford over these. Nice cross to the bang. Oh, I should do better with that. Yeah, England should be 1-0 up. 10 minutes gone already. But yeah, definitely happy with Iraola. 100%. I'm going to go so I can watch the match, but I'll keep up to date on your channel. Good luck with everything, mate. Cheers, my man. Drop in any time. And all good. New Zealand sitting very deep. Chris Wood picks up the ball, charges into the box, cuts across. Gives Gahey a bit of a problem, but the ball ends up with Pickford. Nice touch there. Nice touch there from Chris Wood. Bursting into the box. But no support up there to help him. Cobby man, he's spraying it around a fair bit, which is good to see. Hopefully he can exhibit a bit of control in the matches for England. Peter says, I thought Konate got a rough ride off the online fans. He did a bit, mate. The thing is, though, I don't know, Pete, if you saw how much he's going to be on at Real Madrid. over the course of his 5 years, his contract he signed, he's going to be reaping about 80 something million, 83 million quid. So I think basically what they worked out is that he had the deal lined up to go to Real Madrid anyway. He probably asked Liverpool for a similar amount that he was going to get at Real Madrid. Because he probably did want to stay. And when Liverpool said we can't match those figures, he said, well, I'm off anyway. So I think if Liverpool had matched the offer or given him something close, he probably would have stayed. But I don't know. People make too much judgments on players. You know, Konate's got, if people didn't know, Konate's got a massive family. He's got about 8 brothers. You know, his dad died, so he's obviously got a mum, probably maybe grandparents, but he's got about 8 brothers and sisters. So if you think about it, he's got an opportunity to make life-changing money and look after, Gareth with a good chance to cross the box for New Zealand. But you know, he's in a position to make a lot of money for the rest of his life. Short career, so you can't blame these players. Yeah, I know you don't, but I don't either. You know, they got to earn while they can. You know. They did the same with Trent. If the lad wants a new life, good luck to them. Yeah, exactly. To be honest with you, I don't like all the Trent and all the rat stuff and all that. Trent gave 8 years to Liverpool, won everything. Wants to try something different. Yeah, maybe it's a bit annoying that Liverpool don't get a fee, but let's have it right. We've both been around long enough to know that if Liverpool want to get rid of you or any club wants to get rid of you, they will get rid of you. And they won't give a damn where you go. So these players got to look after themselves. Gareth says 2 right. Yeah, exactly. Peter says 20 years including... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 20 years. Exactly. And people get... they get vilified for, wanting to try something new and whatnot. And I get it. Some people get a bit butthurt, but people have to remember that, at the end of the day, there is more than life to Liverpool. Like, believe it or not for some. Do you know what I mean? It's like, personally, if, nice play between Jed Spence and Rashford on the wing. But yeah, if he wants to try something new, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see him back in the Prem though, playing for another team. I know that. So yeah, I just think there's probably a bit of a ways and means, because if you're a little bit of if you're a local lad and a bit of a semi-legend, then and we did get 10 million for him, but maybe if you could have got 30, 40 million or something like that. It just like you send them off on their way, but it kind of looks after the club as well. But you've got to negotiate these contracts, and when you don't, this is where you end up. You end up in a bit of trouble. So, Right. Ollie Watkins through. Oh, shanks it wide. Good through ball. Long ball into the box. Didn't really compose himself. Just shanked it wide. Should be doing better with that. Should be testing the keeper there. Cam says shanked, yeah, massively. It's weird watching England. England usually obviously playing in white. I'm not sure about this whole red shirt and blue shorts contrast. It don't look too great if you ask me. Given away sloppily by Mainu. Just knocking my drink over. Rodgers comes central. Has a chance to put one in with a bender, but yeah, he shanks that as well. So England are struggling to find their rhythm. Peter says kits are really important to me. You've got to look sharp. I hear that. Yeah, I'm not. I don't really like this blend of something about the red shirt, red socks, blue shorts. It don't look right. But I think New Zealand basically must have won the rights to wear their white strip. But England look better in the white and blue. So Henderson in midfield. Anyone in the chat, please feel free to say hello. Be nice to meet some new people. And just for anyone in the chat, I'm currently on 99 subscribers. So you could make it 100. You could be Mr. or Mrs. or Miss or Master 100. Big shot coming. Big save from the keeper. So anyone that wants to make themselves my 100th subscriber, let me know. And you can make it happen. The channel would appreciate it. Hey, how you doing, Lauren? How are you? Are you okay? Hope you are well. 99 red balloons. That's it. All right, mate. Nina. I'll tell you what, Peter, obviously, yeah. You remember when that song came out and obviously she sang it in English when we heard it as kids, etc. And, I didn't realise until adulthood that they were from Germany. It was like a proper German song. And it's like, wow, what happened there? Didn't even know. Yeah, the old days, the good old days. But yes, how are you, Lauren? Are you well? Please say hello in the chat. And don't forget, Lauren, to put a like on the stream. Thank you. So big shot from Kane. Nice shot. Good save from the keeper. So only a few English players have peppered the goal. Some decent shots. Good one there from Kane. Boxall back to the keeper. Ooh, playing out from the back. Decent England pressure. I am good, thanks. How are things round your way, Lauren? Did you have a nice day? What have you been up to? And are you looking forward to the World Cup? So a ball loosely turned over there. Morgan Rogers bursting free. Rashford, left side, cuts inside. Ooh, didn't get shot away quick enough, Rashford. Harry Kane picks up right side of the box, lays it back to Kwanzaa, whipped in by Henderson. Oh, all players missing a header. Should have done better there. Ooh, dangerous. England just look a little bit off the pace. They definitely need a warm-up game here. I feel like if they'd have been sharp, they definitely would have been 1-0 up already. But yes, hope that you're well, Lauren, and you've had a nice day, irrespective. Yeah, England definitely look a cut above. I think I might have been a bit kind when I said this is like a Premier League team versus a Championship team. It's more like a Premier League team trying to find its fitness versus a League One side, to be honest. I've got some temptations in my house, as in not the sweets or the chocolates, but there's lots of extra grub and bits about. Bit of teasing going on around here, but you know, we keep it moving for the stream. Right, corner coming in. Rashford line this up right side. Ball goes... Daisy cut across the ground. Nicely played off for Roy Rogers. Jed Spence running onto it. Do like Jed Spence. Very versatile player. Can play right back and left back. If Spurs had gone down, I would have been happy for Liverpool to pick him up 100%. Mainu over to Henderson. Dinks one over to Rashford, right side. Rashford all over the pitch. Both sides. Ooh. Rashford wins a throw. Garber, I think he played for Everton, the New Zealand player. A few years ago, maybe. Jarrell Kwanzaa takes a throw to Kane. Kane sprays it central to Gahey. Jed Spence, 35 yards out. Lines one up, blazes it over. Jed Spence got that jaw strapping on. Don't know what's happened to the boy. Hello to all in the chat. So it's the water break thing. Now, cynically, a lot of people are saying the water breaks are not necessarily just for player health. Apparently, the reason for the water breaks, whether the weather dictates it or not, considering a lot of these stadiums are going to have air conditioning, etc., the reason for the water breaks are the halftime adverts. And sorry, the break adverts. So obviously, if you have a break on 22 minutes for water, you can put on, these are going to be obviously commercialized TV, American TV. They can pump adverts in, halftime adverts, pump. Then the team talks at halftime, adverts, pump. Then you get to about the 70 odd minutes or the 67th minute, whatever. Another water break, adverts again, pump. So it's all about making that money, that advertisement money. So that is what apparently a lot of these water breaks have been brought into football for, and this is what they're trying to change, you know, these aspects to the game. So this is definitely one of the new rules that they were talking about, having water breaks, etc. And plus as well, it kind of Americanizes the sport a bit more. Because if you think about it, if you have a water break, then what you're kind of doing, technically speaking, is you're kind of breaking the game up into 4 quarters, because you're having a water break and then you're back in the game. That's like the second quarter. Then you've got half time. Then you've got the third quarter, water break, and then you've got the final quarter. So yeah, it's like the Americanization of the sport, to be honest. But you know, we've got to see how it plays out and how it seems in real time when we're watching the games on our terrestrial TV. Peter says, I used to watch Major League Baseball. Adverts are crazy. See, I've never watched an American game live on TV of any sport. I've been to the States and I've been to an American, I've been to a basketball match, but obviously I watched it live. So, you know, there was so many breaks, it was unreal. And we all know what American football's like. I'm sure baseball's the same, whereas, you know, the adverts are just incessant. Do you know what I mean? Where they're just obviously, you know, trying to get into your pockets every 5 seconds, but this is it, isn't it? So the players having the water breaks. It does look hot out there, to be fair. Stadium looks quite empty, which is, I guess, maybe it's about half full, the stadium. It'd be interesting to know how much these tickets were for the friendlies. So Jed Spence broke his jaw recently, and that is the reason why. Got in an injury with Liam Delap. Big turnaround from Jed Spence's career because he was struggling to get into the Tottenham team in his first season at Spurs. But, you know, here he is at the World Cup. So goes to show what hard work and diligence can do for you as a player. Ball played back to the New Zealand keeper. Just that one chance from Chris Wood. Oh, nicely run away there from the New Zealand midfielder. Gareth went for the shot. Oh, low to Pickford's left. Palmed it away. Jed Spence clearing up. No one really stopped the midfielder. Oh, a lovely back heel there from Mainoo. Lovely stuff. Jed Spence. Cameron says Spence is decent. He certainly is. Good player, Jed Spence. 100%. Would you take him at Arsenal, Cameron? That is the question. Would you take him at Arsenal with his Tottenham, well, with his current Tottenham, allegiances? Would you take him at Tottenham? Let me know. Mainoo dinking out a good ball there. Yes, yes, you would. Fair play. I would take him at Liverpool myself. But yeah, Mainoo's a very impressive player. He's so composed. I think the only thing lacking from his game is just the legs. He doesn't have the legs to get around and what you need. But if you get someone fast and strong beside him, you know, you could definitely build a good midfield around him. I just don't think Henderson is that guy. Tim Payne. Is this Singh on the ball? Nice ball played in. Gareth now. Being trapped by Morgan Rogers. So New Zealand play it out to the left-hand side. So England have a throw-in their own half. New Zealand are ranked 85th. They're the lowest ranked team in the tournament. Sure, England must be fourth favourites, I would imagine. Fourth or fifth with Brazil, I would imagine England are. All right, ball taken down by Kane. Plays it out wide. Jed Spence galloping. Left-hand channel. On the wing, takes a heavy touch, but that's fine because he knows he's got the speed to catch onto it. He drives into the box, does a step over. Jinx left, Jinx right. Nice through ball there to Rogers. Bang, Mainoo takes a shot, but it's over. Doesn't compose himself. Good play from England on a break there. Just England just don't have our shooting boots on at the moment. Mainoo sets it, but he just doesn't compose himself. Should do better. He had more time. Player coming in, diving in, maybe put him off a little bit, but got to be a bit more composed, Kobbie Mainoo. Rashford. Morgan Rogers. Lines one up. Ooh. Does he hit? Looks like he hit Watkins with his shot. Kwanzaa, the lanky defender, but on the right wing, Jordan Henderson, who would have known from the Liverpool when he was at the academy, plays it through, but it just goes straight through to the New Zealand keeper. Peter says, what boots did you have when you were younger? I had a series of New Balance boots off our market. Bad boot. As in, it was a crap boot or it was a bad boot? As in a Michael Jackson bad. What did I have? I had some Puma Kings, mate. You would have remembered those. I had some Adidas Gazelles. And I had a Nike boot as well. I can't remember the name though. But yeah, Puma Kings. Rashford into the box, keeper picks up. Also, I just wanted to say, 101 subscribers, so a few people subscribed. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the people that subscribed. And yeah, thank you. I've reached a nice milestone, so more than chuffed. 101 subscribers, not even 100, but 101. So thank you for those subscribers. Hope you enjoy the channel. And if you like good football conversation, good vibes, atmosphere, non-toxic banter, non-toxic behaviour, this is the place for you. Peter says, posh boot. What, Puma King? They were, mate. I did cherish them. Very nice. And then I outgrew them, and then I didn't get any more after that. And but then I kind of there was times in the secondary school for a couple of years I didn't really play much football during a little growing phase and whatnot. You know, different things take over. And yeah, then when I hit back to my late teens, going at 16, 17, I was mostly grown by then. So yeah, started to get back into my footy more, playing back then on the Sundays with the boys on the estate, etc. But yeah, Puma Kings, awesome. Remember wearing my Liverpool kit at the time, my candy, my white away strip candy top as well, which you would remember. That was a nice kit, that was. Right, John Stones pushing onwards. New Zealand camped deep in their half. Watkins. Good feet from Kobe Mainoo. He's a lot stronger now. You can see the sides of him. He's actually put on a bit of weight. He looks a bit more muscular. Working out a bit. He doesn't look as the small boy from a couple of years ago bursting in, but Rashford. Good control. Oh, good trick. Goes past one. Stands one up into the box. Oh, Kane header. Tipped over the bar from the New Zealand keeper. Lovely stuff from Rashford, though. Trying his best to earn a start there. Nice save from Crocombe there in the goal. Good trick from Rashford. Bit of pace. Kane, header on target. Crocombe tips it over the bar. Bit of a save for the cameras, but you know, England's best chance to boot so far. Rashford with a corner. Nice pink boots there. Good cross whipped in. Cleared. Rashford. Jordan Henderson. Jez Spence to Mainoo. Morgan Rogers tries a flick. Peter says, I had to live through my nephew for decent boots. I got him a great pair of boots direct from Japan. Mizuno Ribula, made in Japan. I'll have a look at those quickly. Mizuno Ribula. Let's have a look at those. Let's see what you were cooking up. Right, Rashford into the box, cuts one back. Anyone coming in? No one there. I just looked those up, Peter. They look quite nice. I mean, obviously, there's modern ones. I don't know, obviously, what your ones look like from back in the day. But they look quite nice now, though. Then again, what football boots don't look nice these days? They all look like something out of space these days. These aerodynamic stuff. But yeah, sounds very fancy. Never heard of that brand. But you're a very surprising character. You know your stuff. So Crocombe with the big kick out. The ball comes back. England have it in midfield in the attacking positions. Mainu. Henderson. Charge down. Henderson looking for the foul. Gets up. Jed Spence left side. Back to Mainu. Over to Henderson. Looking for options. New Zealand just happy to sit back deep. Mainu tries a pass into Kane's feet. And now Wood has it, but he's the furthest forward player, but he's not even at the centre circle. So, yeah, the ball's just going to keep coming back. It's going to be a very one-sided kind of percentage. It's more or less attack v defence. Kane looking to just turn and spin, but misjudges it. We've got Kwanzaa now central. Stones. Kwanzaa. Henderson. England not exactly fizzing it around, but moving it around. Henderson jets some pace over to Ollie Watkins. Cross into the box by Rashford, picked up by Crocombe and cleared. So yes, thank you everyone in the chat so far. And once again, thank you for those subscribers that got me over the line. First achievement, 101 subscribers. So I'm very chuffed with that. Thank you so much. Obviously, anyone in the chat, please do feel free to say hello. My name is Ade. We've got some lovely people in the chat. Always happy to talk about football. Whoever you support, as you can see, Liverpool fan, but well, anybody is welcome in the chat. Arsenal, United, lower leagues, anyone is welcome. Let's chat about the footy and the World Cup. Peter says best boots in the world. Roberto Carlos were in Japan. Vlad Smitsa had a pair in the 2005 Champions League final. Mizuno don't pay players sponsorships, but they are the best quality boots available. Didn't even know that, my man. Did not even know that. I mean, saying that, the name does ring a bell now. The name does ring a bell. But I've just never seen a pair. But that's cool. All right, ball slips to Jed Spence. He's got the pace. He's in the box. Cuts it back. No one there. Not enough movement from the England players in the box. It's going to be hard to cut through. I mean, New Zealand look like they're playing for a famous draw here. I think I was a little bit optimistic with this 2-1. But as it stands, I don't think New Zealand can score in this game from what I can see. They look like the kind of team that's going to go home. Depending on who's in their group, they look like the kind of teams that are going to go home without scoring a goal in the World Cup, to be fair. 3 straight losses. See you later. All right, Spence byline by the corner flag. Holding it up. It's the made in Japan bit that's important. Perfectionist. You know, yeah, very true. I know what you mean. Japanese cars, though. Apart from Toyota, maybe. But no, but I know what you mean though. They are very meticulous. And that is the top country on my bucket list, Peter. That's where I want to go one day. That's the dream destination. Been to many places, but haven't been there. But that is definitely top of the bucket list. Rashford, corner, left wing side, puts one in. Good cross from Rashford today. Jed Spence. Popped up on the right, swapping with Rashford. Henderson smashes one over to Rashford. Lovely pass. Rashford dinks one in. Ooh. Not even dink, sorry. Swerving one in. Rashford's probably been England's best player this half. Looking the most energetic, really looking to nail down a starting spot, Marcus Rashford. But good cross from Marcus Rashford. Still can't believe that Barcelona haven't made their Rashford deal permanent, opting to spend all that money on Anthony Gordon, who was a fine player, but I thought Rashford had done enough to deserve his spot. Morgan Rogers bursts into the box. Kane turns, spins, looking for an angle. What's Kane going to do? Tries to lay it on for Watkins, messes up the pass. Or England hunting in packs, knocking the ball down. Back to Watkins, Mainu, Rashford. Ooh, takes a shot but blazes it just wide. Didn't Real Madrid offer half the Rashford money? For who, Peter? Who are you saying? Rashford's shot should have been a bit better than that, in my opinion. He had a bit more time. A bit like with the Mainu situation, he had a bit more time. Should have done better. Cam says Rashid looks good. He does, mate. He does. Very impressed with him so far. England standout player, I would say. So we're 41 minutes. Barcelona, sorry, Peter says. That's the thing. Barcelona, they're taking a mick. I mean, they're obviously playing pauper, Peter, that they haven't got any money. But yet they buy Gordon for 70 million. They're literally talking about buying Julian Alvarez off of Atletico for 100 million. I know you kind of spread payments over the course of a certain amount of time, but to think they can't stump up the 25, 30 million pound that Man United want from Marcus Rashford, it's quite incredible. You give him a 3-year contract, 4-year contract, you're talking about, what's that going to be, like 6 million a year? For Rashford, he's probably been one of the best English exports in his first season over there that you're likely to see. And I'll be amazed if, as good as Gordon is, I'll be amazed if he has the same impact in his first season as Anthony Gordon, but as Marcus Rashford. But Barcelona, I think, they've seen what Gordon done in the Champions League. He scored like 11 goals or whatever. He scored, what did he score? 4 in one game? Was it 5 in one game? But quite a few penalties, and it's a good player, Anthony Gordon, but they are ruthless in Spain. But I think it also comes down, it's just the money in the Premier League. There's so much money that no one can compete. All these clubs, even, I don't know if you saw that stat the other day, that Burnley relegated earned more money than Barcelona last season. It's like, what is going on? Like, honestly, what is going on? Absolutely crazy. When those sorts of things are happening. And this is why I didn't want the English teams to do a clean sweep in Europe. I just think we've got to the point where the Premier League is too strong. And it's not healthy for the good of the game, to be honest. But I don't see anything turning around anytime soon, to be honest, Peter. Ball played out wide to Kwanzaa, who's drifting in field. Lays it back to Jordan Henderson, trying to dictate play. Rashford dinks one over. Ooh, dangerous. Crocombe collects. Jess Spence bursting down the left wing side now. Henderson central. Got his head up looking for a pass. Rashford right wing. Rogers, sorry. Getting dragged back. Tries to win a corner, but that's going to be a goal kick. Barcelona, ruthless in Spain. Bubble bursting area. The Prem bubble, yeah, mate. Honestly, it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. We shouldn't be at a stage where, the previous season before last, Man United finishing 15th, Tottenham 17th, but they're both in the Europa League final. Chelsea won the conference before the season even started. They got to the final, destroyed Betis 4-1. It was, for the first 20 minutes it was competitive. After that, Chelsea just walked through them. This year you've had Palace. Palace easily winning the conference final. One of the most one-sided finals you'll see. Aston Villa versus Freiburg. You was here with me on the watch-along. Absolutely destroyed Freiburg, didn't they? 3-0. So easy. It's not healthy. The state of football, European club football, is not in a healthy spot. The Premier League is way too strong. Gahey bringing it out now. Jed Spence left wing. And Jed Spence tricking himself. Mainu holding off one challenge, shirking the player. To Henderson, over to Kwanzaa, right side. So a few ball rolls. Bringing it central, cuts inside. Have a shot. Lays it off to nobody. But New Zealand are far too deep to break. And it is literally back to the same pattern. Attack v defence. Yeah, Kwanzaa's been all right, Peter. He's been not too bad. He's been patrolling a lot of the right channel. He's basically been playing as a bit of a right winger most of the game. But yeah, he's been all right. I mean, he's had literally nothing to do down the left side apart from one attack, and he dealt with that well. Ball into the box, and it's in. England have scored. Harry Kane, deft header. And the main man, Harry Kane, is up and running in this international friendly. Good cross comes in. Header is definitely flicked on. And the keeper's not going to save that. 1-0 England. Let's go. Ball comes in. Oof. Gahey over to Jed Spence. A few ball rolls. Laser cuts inside. Lovely cross. And a really good header. When you see it on the replay, really good header from Kane. Kind of leans back in midair, adjusts his head, arcs the ball. Honestly, that is a brilliant header. That is actually a sensational header. The actual contortion of his neck and his body. He's the best. He is what, honestly, this guy is so, obviously he's rated around the world and everyone knows he's world class, but honestly, he is one of the best strikers I've seen in my life. He is unbelievable. Harry Kane is one of our own. Yeah, I do like Harry Kane. And he's a very unoffensive character as well. He's a very likeable guy. People do mock him with the way he speaks and whatnot, but you know, he's a good guy. And honestly, I think he's one of the best strikers I've ever seen in my life. He's unbelievable. Like this guy's finished. He's absolutely ruthless. Anything people want to say about Erling Haaland, he is his equal without a doubt. And he's twice the player in terms of off the ball. He's an unbelievable footballer. One of the most underrated players of all time. He's definitely in with a shout for me of being one of England's best ever players of all time, and B, maybe even a best ever striker. Like, you know, we talk about the greats, you know, even though Bobby Charlton was attacking midfielder really, but you know, Jimmy Greaves and Alan Shearer and whatnot. This guy is just, Harry Kane is absolute class. Absolute class. And I'm pretty sure Harry Kane is definitely going to be, you know, he'll either get the golden boot or he'll be very close to it. 100%. What a player he is. Absolute joke of a player. So yeah, very good half from England there. Far too strong for New Zealand. You can see why New Zealand are the lowest ranked team in the opposition in the competition. They have got absolutely zero threat going forward for them. Obviously, Chris Wood up top, you give him a chance to score, but it's how they're going to even get him the chances that I do not know. But yes, good stuff from England so far. Bit of interference in the background. Was that thunder in the crack? Was that thunder and lightning in the background, or was that a packet of Doritos crackling in the background? That is what I ask viewers in the chat. Shambles of presentation. Oops, you got me. It's not me though, being a greedy prat. Some other degenerates around here, or degenerates. I said degenerate. It doesn't mean no. I don't want it. I don't eat unhealthy things. But yeah, all good. So yeah, not bad. Not a bad little half. My prediction of 2-1, I definitely will backtrack on that. If New Zealand score here, I'll be amazed, shocked. Pete, yourself, are you going to be catching many of the... Oh, you said 4-0. Okay, fair enough. Could be. Definitely could be. Because obviously it's warm out there and as the players tire, there definitely should be more goals for England. Definitely, I'd say at least 2-3. 100%. Will you be catching any of the games once the tournament starts, Peter, or is it mostly you'll be on the radio following along? Pete says, on the radio, I expect Bear to have a TV license. Fair enough. You're a rebel. Do you know something? To be fair, yeah, I don't have one either. To be honest, because other than football, I don't watch TV. So yeah, there's no point. And obviously they changed the rules from when we were kids and whatnot. It was all about the BBC, but the world isn't even about the BBC and the presentation anymore. So the way they try and justify, the TV license these days, absolute joke. Just another one of the worst taxes basically you can have in life. TV license, do me a favour. Absolutely ridiculous. I remember, you remember this one as well, because I'm sure when you was growing up and whatnot, in your household you'd have one and whatnot. And my mum would have the black and white TV license. We used to have a black and white TV, even though we had a colour one upstairs as well. But, you just like... And why anyone believes the scaremongering amongst TV licenses, Peter. Do you remember the adverts used to go around? There's a van going up and down the street and it goes, yeah, we will know. How are you going to know? How can you tell if there's a TV on in someone's house? And people will believe anything. Even as a kid, I've always been quite tech savvy, but even as a kid, I would say to myself, how would they know you've got a TV on in the house? How would they know? It's impossible. Absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. So, yeah, crazy stuff. The TV vans, they were only... Is that right? So they were actually TV vans, were they? There were only 7 of them and only one word. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. At the end of the day, they're just relying on people to own up to something. Do you know what I mean? But honestly, TV license in 2026. Geez, by the time we're dead and gone, people can barely concentrate on doing anything for more than 10 minutes these days. Jesus Christ. Flipping now. I've got thunder and lightning in my living room. Jesus. I need to look into that. Flip's sake. Right, on that note, I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to mute the microphone because I've got a lot of thunder in the background. Thunder being a packet of orange Doritos blasting my eardrums away. Some people. So I'll be back in a moment, just take a short break, and then we'll go through the halftime stats. Alright, back again. So let's go through these half-time stats. So, as we can see, it's 1-0 to England. Harry Kane putting England ahead from a lovely Jez Spence cross just on the stroke of half-time. Brilliant header from Harry Kane. We've had no yellow cards, nothing really worthy of the name of a challenge in the half. So let's have a look at some of the stats. So England, very dominant, 67.5% possession. New Zealand, 32.5%. 14 shots for England, 3 on target. New Zealand, 2 shots and 1 on target. 19 touches in New Zealand's box by England, and only 3 in England's box by New Zealand. New Zealand keepers made 2 saves, only 1 by Pickford. Decent save, actually, by Pickford. Aerial draws 1, 2 by England, and 2 by New Zealand. Fouls committed 4 by England, 5 by New Zealand. 5 corners for England, all taken by Marcus Rashford. And those are your stats. Is there any of the jogging and running stats? Nope. So, back to the lineups, and it's 1-0 England at half-time. So, a comprehensive display by England. Very simple at the moment, as they've got a few dancing girls at half-time, giving it some. Some dancing girls on TV. You've got to love a cameraman. He's trying to do the work of finding the good-looking chicks in the audience. Sorry, ladies in the audience. Sorry. Yeah, these cameramen. Oh, it's cool. They're trying to keep it a bit. What's it called? The cameramen do their job of finding women in the crowd, and then they just show, you know, a set of kids to make it out like it's a family environment. Then they scatter around trying to find good-looking girls in the audience. Cameramen never change. And I expect to see plenty during the World Cup. The Raymond James Stadium. So the players are back out on the pitch. Conservative, yes, they are. They try to be, but really they're masking what their real intentions are, which is to find the ladies in the crowd. So Dan Burns coming on, Ivan Toney coming on, James Trafford coming on in goal. So yes, some changes. Rio Ingamoa's on. The young Liverpool starlet is on. So lots of changes. Nico O'Reilly, so there's 5-6 changes. So very good. So it's going to be interesting to see how these youngsters get on. And Jude Bellingham is on as well. And Elliot Anderson as well. So basically, is it a whole complete change side? Yeah, Livramento. Oh, he's changed it. It's a full 11 change. So it's a massive change. Anthony Gordon as well. So it's a completely different team. I don't know if New Zealand are going to be making as many changes, but England have basically come out with a whole new side. See if we can get that on. Yeah, so it's basically all of those players there on the bottom are on, more or less. Ivan Toney up top. Livramento left back. Jude Bellingham up top. So yeah, complete change around. Rio Ingamoa on. So interested to see how Rio gets on. Second half about to kick off. And the second half kicks off. Peter says 4-0, here we come. So it's good to see some different players. So you've got Ezri Konza now at centre-back. Complete change around. O'Reilly playing centre-back. Is that O'Reilly playing centre-back? That's a bit weird. Oh no, Dan Burns, sorry. Nico O'Reilly in midfield. They're going to have to get used to all the different names now. Not that many changes for New Zealand. And a female ref. We've got a female ref as well. All right, so the game is just settling down. Just trying to figure out exactly where everybody is. So just one change for New Zealand. Gordon. Reece James. Rio Ingamoa playing right wing. Elliot Anderson. Livramento. Gordon left wing. Oh, cuts out, chops outside. Looking confident. The Barcelona man. Wins a corner for England. So Anthony Gordon left wing. And Rio Ingamoa right wing. Very interesting. So Reece James with a corner now. Ball comes to Reece James, puts one in. Oh, hit the post. Header from Dan Burn, hits the post. Bit of jostling in the box, ball comes in. Falls to Dan Burn, the biggest man on a pitch. Heads it onto the post. Nico O'Reilly took a wild swing. Dan Burn probably should have scored. Couple of inches wide, should have scored really. Elliot Anderson, tenacious, winning the ball. Jude Bellingham, right side. Trips Kakachi. France lost to the Ivory Coast today. Interesting. I guess these warm-up matches aren't as important. It's all about getting fitness back into the players' legs, I suppose. Spain, I think, drew with Iran. Burn over to Konza. Bellingham releasing Gordon. Edge of the box, tries to slip someone in. Left footed cross across the box. Empty. Anyone running onto that? There's a tap in if anyone comes across the goal. No one does. A ball being recycled around the England backline. The same pattern of players before. New Zealand very, very disciplined but very deep in their line and their formation. And England can easily just knock it around under no real pressure. The way this game is looking like it's being played out is like if New Zealand walk away with a 1-0 defeat, they'll take it like a moral victory, which is a little bit odd. Livramento, Byrne, Trafford, Konza approaching the halfway line. Got Rio wide on the right. He's going to look for him. Reece James falls over himself but keeps the ball. England just keeping possession, recycling. Dan Burn puts out wide to Anthony Gordon. Chalk on his boots. Cuts inside. Takes a shot. 20 yards out. Rio ENGNZL comes inside. What's he going to do? Have a shot? Ooh, Rio should have took a shot sooner, to be honest. Elliot Anderson, 25 yards out. Livramento, edge of the box, left side. Cuts back inside, onto his right. Scoops one in. Cleared. Elliot Anderson picks up the ball, recycles. Reece James. Rio ENGNZL. Right side now, right wing. Dribbles. Jude Bellingham. Livramento. Trots back onto his left. Gordon. Right. Livramento, left side, but in the box. Left, dinks it over, but it's too high. Rio recycles, right side of the box. Comes back into the box. Goes past two. Cuts back inside. Good feet. Scoots one into the box. Good play. Anthony Gordon now. Plays with Livramento. Plays it back to Gordon. Back to Livramento. Elliot Anderson. Reece James. Rio right side. Back to Reece James. Elliot Anderson. Reece James. 100% Peter. Shoot early, you got a chance catching out the keeper, right? Giving people a chance to set themselves. These players hold on to it too long a lot of the time in modern football. But that's the thing nowadays. Nobody wants to even have shots. It's weird. It's like, they do, football's all about the calculations now, the percentages. And it's like a shot from 30 yards is like giving away possession. But, maybe it goes in, right? Do you know what I mean? Imagine if football was like nowadays. You wouldn't have the Gerrard screamer in the 2006 Gerrard final, the FA Cup final, would you? Do you know what I mean? It's like nothing better than seeing the ball rip the net from 30 yards, But these players are just so robotic now, so systematic. Reece James with a free kick after Elliot Anderson fouled. Don't know what it is about Reece James. He always looks unfit. He always looks a little bit overweight and unhealthy. Matt Letizia type goes, what a player he was. Ball into the box. What a player that guy was. Unbelievable. The thing is, though, what's the sad truth about a player like Matt Letizia now? Is that Peter, in today's game, as talented as he was, as skillful as he was, enough to do with pace, by the way, he probably wouldn't have made it in today's football because he's not enough of an athlete. Do you know what I mean? Probably the game would maybe he'd benefit from modern medicine and modern science. But let's say Matt Letizia was transported to this era of football as he was. he probably wouldn't make it. Talent alone doesn't get you by in modern football these days. It's like these guys, the athleticism is just off the charts. It's like a different game now in some ways, sadly. But yeah, anyone watches a Matt Letizia goal compilation, you'll be in for a treat. Absolutely unbelievable player. Don't know what your thoughts are on that, on Peter, and what I was talking about with modern football and the way it's gone with the athleticism, and players like Matt Letizia probably wouldn't make it. Ball is back. Now it's with Konza, Reece James, Elliot Anderson, dictating the midfield. Dan Burn, Livramento on the wing, Gordon in support, cuts inside, holds off the ball strong, turns back on himself, Anthony Gordon. O'Reilly tries to slip in. Ivan Toney. Marathon runners now, ain't they? Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's weird, isn't it? It's like obviously you've got to have the talent to make it as a footballer, but it just feels like in today's age, it's like the football talent is like, it should be about the skill over the athleticism, but it feels like they're so entwined now. It's unbelievable, but yeah, scary where the games are going. Maybe in 25 years when we're long gone, it might be you might have robots playing the game instead. Who can program the best robots? Do you know what I mean? So who knows? So good free kick opposition after Toney looked like he was alleged to have been fouled, but didn't really look like much in it. He looked unfit. Reece James, 22 yards out, left side of the box, sizing it up for a free kick. It's going to be a goal, I reckon. It doesn't even beat the wall. Shambles. Gordon lays it outside. Rio in the box. Inside. Zips past a couple of defenders. Lays it back now. Ball is back with Elliot Anderson. To Reece James. Rio Ingamoa. Nico O'Reilly. Konza. Nico O'Reilly. Plays it over to Dan Burn. Oh, nice. Back heel. Livramento comes inside. Jude Bellingham. Little juggle. Anthony Gordon. His new Liga teammate, as it were. Jude Bellingham. A few tricks in the box. Good feet. Back to Gordon. Oh, lovely ball from Gordon. Slips in Livramento. Darting run into the box. Good pace. Toney gives referee. Oh, offside. It was going to be a penalty, but it's offside. Female ref, she's absolutely tiny. Looks like a kid amongst the men. It's crazy. The size of your lungs can give people advantage in the engine. 100%. Oh, that's a tight offside. Toney is tripped in the box. That would have been a penalty. The referee, the female referee, she gave it, which was a right call. Definitely was a penalty. But it was offside by absolute inches. Yeah, physiology is so important now when it comes to football. Wow. How that linesman spotted that offside. That is an incredible spot. That was so tight. Fair play to that linesman. Jesus. So 1-0 to England. Harry Kane setting England on their way in the international friendly with a lovely header from a Jed Spence cross right on the stroke of half time. Fizzed in from the left-hand side. Harry Kane in the air, mid-air, contortionist, moves his neck, spins around and puts a little spin on his header, glancing header. It's a great goal. So they're checking the penalty, but I thought it was offside. I don't understand. They're checking penalty, but they're giving offside. So how can it be a penalty? VAR check for a penalty. Don't understand that. She gave the penalty, then it was ruled as offside, and now they're checking for the penalty. I don't quite understand what's going on there. Kakachi coming off for New Zealand. A youngster I've never heard of coming on. Very fishy, this VAR stuff, 100%. It's going to have a massive impact during the tournament. Something's going to go wrong in the tournament. The check is over. No penalty, that was odd. I just wish that it'd never come into the game, to be honest, Peter. It was the game was better without it. You had more goals. Yeah, of course you had a bit more controversy, a few more talking points, but, how did that ever hurt football? That's why football got to where it was, for all of the drama, the excitement, the talking points, the highs, the lows. And that old saying of, Tony looks like he's carrying an absolute caravan on his back. He looks so unfit. That's what 2 years in Saudi does for you. Big long throw into the England half. One back by Bellingham. Good energy. Anyone that pops into the chat, please do say hello. 10:30 on a Saturday night watching football. That's what it's all about. What was you doing many moons ago on a Saturday night as a youngster, Peter? What was going down for you? God, 30 years ago. To think back then. Can't believe how much time has flown, my man. Us 70s boys. Unbelievable. How time has flown, my man. Good answer. Yeah, fair enough. Many a wild night back in the day. Oh, good ball in. Rio now. Trying to feed Ivan Toney, but a good ball played in by Konza. Deep to Rio. Split about 4 players. Rio picks up. Tries to slip in Ivan Toney. Toney didn't read the situation. So it's Elliot Anderson. Long through ball. Bang. Past 3 players. Rio nips in, picks it. Then tries to slip in Toney, but he can't get on his bike. Toney looks like he's towing an absolute oil tanker on his back. He looks so off it. He looks miles off it, Ivan Toney. Jesus. Ball back at Trafford. Over to Dan Burn. The stocky Geordie stepping out from the back. Reece James. ENGNZL. Peter, I don't know. Did you hear about the Bayern Munich links to ENGNZL, the Liverpool starlet? Did you hear about that? Peter says you wouldn't get away with what we did now. You'd be a viral. It's so true, isn't it? It's so true. Honestly, it's a scary world. It's a scary world, and that's the thing. Some of these youngsters, they're not in tune with the way things were, obviously. But even now, they're so. Like when you're of our generation, you notice when you see phones around, so you're kind of on your P's and Q's. But these kids are so oblivious because everyone's on their phones anyway, so they kind of would still do things that would get themselves in trouble. where you think, how did you fall for that? How did you, not see that? It's because they're just so oblivious to it because it's part and parcel of their lives. But I can't remember what question I asked you now. Okay, Anthony Gordon to Nico O'Reilly. Good work from Gordon, cuts inside. Played it out to Rio, the youngster. Stands up, his man. Oh, he is so tricky. Rio ENGNZL, so tricky. Peter says, I did hear about Rio, but it just sounded like noise and click money for the journos. Yeah, I know what you mean. It didn't make any sense when I heard about it at all, you're right. It did sound like a load of nonsense. Why would Liverpool got so much work to do? Why would they even think about selling Rio ENGNZL? Gary says, I hate technology. Yeah, well, apart from obviously what I'm doing here on YouTube, yeah. But in general, I think I know what you mean, the sentiment. I don't like what technology has done or is doing to the world. I think it's the way we misuse it. Peter says, Gary, I've never had a smartphone. Wow. Really? Never had a smartphone? You're really a rebel. You're a rebel, Peter. So basically, the Matrix, you wouldn't take the blue pill. You take the red pill. The water break is on. Hydration break. So they don't even stop the clocks during this hydration break, do they? So I know what you mean. I didn't. Well, I know you don't have children, Peter. You told me already, but I was one of the last people to get my kid. I didn't actually buy my children smartphones. I didn't want them to have it. Their mum did. That's another story. That's their mum. We're not together. I haven't been together for a long time, but she got them smartphones. I didn't want to give them smartphones. I was against giving them smartphones, and yeah, my boys are all right though. They're decent lads, but smartphones would have gotten many a parent's child in trouble, 100%. So let's see some of the other scores while they're having this water break. So some of the other scores: Saudi Arabia battering Puerto Rico. Canada 1, Republic of Ireland 1, Haiti 1, Peru 2, Belgium 5, Tunisia 0. Easy. Palestine, Kenya cancelled. Portugal 2, Chile 1. That's quite a competitive game. Romania 2, Wales 1. United States 1, Germany 2. That's not bad. The States pushing Germany there. Panama 1, Bosnia 1. Switzerland 1, Australia 1. Bolivia 0, Scotland 4. Wow, Scotland scored 4. Bolivia must be crap. England beating New Zealand 1-0 that we're watching. Qatar 0. El Salvador 0. 0 should I say. And then there's games later. The Brazil-Egypt one looks pretty decent. Venezuela-Turkey, not a bad game there. Any other decent games that stand out? Myanmar and Guam. Wow. 2 countries that you barely even know what they are. Vanuatu 2, Fiji 1. Jeez. Different. Mo Salah not fit for Egypt. Oh, he's on the bench, Mo Salah. Brazil. Is Neymar on the bench? No, he won't be ready for the World Cup. So yeah, interesting. So we're back again. Peter says it's the world teams rather than European teams that make the World Cup exciting. Yeah, I know what you mean. You're right, mate. Especially when you kind of see, especially when we were young as well, and you watched tournaments and you saw teams that you never ever got to get to see. But that was always the great thing, wasn't it? Seeing the South American teams, the Uruguays, even the Mexicos, obviously Argentina, Brazil. But seeing some of those ones you never saw, like Colombia, like Valderrama, and all these players that you never saw. Yeah, so I 100% agree with you. Cameron says he is class for an ex-Spurs player. Spence, you are right, my man. Spot on. Really good player. So England very comfortable in this game, in no danger at all, and it would be absolutely a shock if they didn't run out at least one. Well, they're winning 1-0 now, but run out 1 or 2-0 winners. I'd expect another goal from England. They're probing well, but finding it equally as difficult to make a breakthrough. They seemed a bit more impactful in the first half. Rashford being very, England's best player. Right, so Rio right wing now. Right, good feet from Nico O'Reilly and Jude Bellingham. Keeping possession. Knocking it over to Tino Livramento. Left-hand side. Anthony Gordon now. Driving at his defender. Ball rolls, but tries a trick. Still gets it though. Drags forward. Ball falls for Tony. What's he going to do? Squares it for Bellingham. Across the ground, but hits a defender. Livramento tries to keep it in play, but it ricochets off him. Peter says, yeah, they're letting me down on the 4-0. I thought the subs were going to be a boost. I thought with the fact that they changed all 11 players and New Zealand kept everybody on, that you'd have thought that the heat would have got to them by now and England's fresh legs. I mean, there's still time. I mean, New Zealand, I think, have changed one more player since then, so they've only made 2 changes. But so you'd imagine in the weather that they're going to be, they'd start to wilt now. But yeah, I'd imagine England are going to get surely another goal, but they haven't really fashioned many chances. Really, they were better they looked more cohesive, England, in the first half. Nico O'Reilly. Gordon tries to come inside. Gordon's been a bit disappointing, to be honest, in this half. Can't seem to get his feet going. Kind of tricking himself. Trying to do a few tricks and he keeps tricking himself. Maybe he's trying a bit hard, thinking about the Barcelona fans watching him from back home in España. Nice layout from O'Reilly. Tries to put in Bellingham. Who tried to slip in Tony, but doesn't break. Yes, New Zealand just very defensive. Good shape from New Zealand. They seem to have kind of settled into their shape better. Jude Bellingham now. Spinning, turning around. Lays it out wide right to Rio Ingamoa. Dribbles, feints. Such good feet. Drives into the box. And he wins the corner. Really good, really good work. He's going to be so dangerous for us next season, Peter. Rio Ingamoa. This kid is, he's like a bar of soap. He's different. He could be anything in the game. I'm so interested to see what he's going to be like in a year and a half. Peter, what do you think of this, this Liverpool bid for this Jan Diamandi, the Leipzig player, £100 million or €100 million? What's your thoughts on it? Apparently, we're the front runners with PSG. There's mitigating saying PSG are kind of in the lead for him, but then we are. PSG looks like apparently the more attractive proposition for maybe a developmental jump for him at this stage. Easier league. But then no regular starting spot, whereas you could come to the Prem play for Liverpool, who are bigger, and you've got the Premier League and a guaranteed starter, more or less. So, Burn with a header, bounces off New Zealand defender for another England corner. Elliot Anderson. So the corner's just taken short, recycled around. Not quite sure what the point of that corner was. Just went wide. So Rio has the ball. He's jockeying, cuts inside, slips one in, but it's to the back post, but it's too high. Peter says, hard to tell as I don't know him. Is the guy, he's the guy of one good year, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I've seen a couple of matches. I've seen, I think, one Leipzig game of his, and I saw one Ivory Coast game of him during the African Cup of Nations. And I've seen some YouTube highlights. He does look electric. What he looks like to me, he looks like a bit of a Sadio Mane regen. He does look like that. But the thing, unlike Sadio, who kind of had that power and skill, he looks a little bit raw. Looks like he makes he's bulldozing his way through. Do you know what I mean? But he's only 19 and he's put up good numbers. I mean, as good as Elise is like the top right wing player in the world with Yamal, but he's put up numbers the same as Elise really, and he's apparently on the metrics he's not miles off it, and he's only 19, so that's why they're looking for that 100 million premium. But I'm not sure about 1 year you deserve to get the step to Liverpool, but they're going to be desperate, aren't they? Mo Salah's gone now and whatnot. Who's going to get the goal to Liverpool? Obviously, it should be Isak and whatnot, but somebody needs to put it on a plate for this guy. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. De Vries putting one into the England box. Big header. So it's a New Zealand corner. James Trafford tried to keep it in, but his first thing he's had to do all half. Sadio was immense, totally underrated. 100 mil is too much. You got to be Wirtz type of quality for that, though. Excuse me, I 100% agree. Sadio was immense, and 100 million is far too much for a 19-year-old that's done nothing in the game. Apart from one good season, it's too much. It's such a big risk. De Vries again with this corner. Good one under the box. Ooh. Well won by Konza. Good header. Trafford picked it up, but it was a foul anyway. But yeah, Sadio was immense. To be fair, this kid, Diamande, like I said, I've only watched him twice, but and it's funny as well because you get all these YouTubers or people talking about players. And I'm just thinking, you haven't even seen this guy play, man. Just so many people just waffle about what they've seen and whatnot. There's so many people that say they've seen this player, that player. It's like, who's got time to watch all of these clubs in all of these different leagues? And it's just, of course, there's going to be some kind of, very nerdy type statistician, stato type football fans, YouTubes that are going to be across it all. But the average person or person doing social media content, they've got time to watch all these games. Absolute nonsense. There's people talking out there, let's buy this player, let's buy that player for 50, 60, 70 million. And saying, oh yeah, he's great. And I'm in my head, I'm like, you haven't even seen this guy play. Don't even lie. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, if this guy, I mean, this guy to me, very similar in style to Sadio Mane. If we get him and he pulls off 80% of how good Sadio Mane was, then obviously it'll be a success. 19, massive ceiling, so yeah, it's never going to be worth the money. But the problem is if you don't buy him this year and he has another good year, it becomes 150 million. So what do? Or you just develop your own like Rio Ingemar. Or try and find one. Oh, good feet from Bellingham. Cut back. Drag back. O'Reilly tries a back heel. Back to Bellingham. Right side. Look for the angle. Blazes it over. Peter says, I see that scenario all the time. Strong opinions with no facts on news. I know, it's crazy, right? I don't get it, mate. I don't get it. And I know. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of do it myself. Because I said to myself, sometimes I'm watching some of these YouTube content creators. And I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? And it's not about everyone, because look, I'm not going to go and say I'm, the font of all knowledge on football. But, I've played football in my early years. I've watched it my whole life. I know what good football is. I can spot patterns of play. I see things in games. And I know what a good footballer is. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I know what a good player is. But I can't sit up here and just say, yeah, I know this player, I know that player, and they're this and that. And I think you watch some of these YouTube people and they're talking like it's Monopoly and it's Monopoly money. And yeah, let's get this player, let's get that player. And I'm thinking, have you really watched the Belgian league to be talking about a certain centre-back or whatever? And I'm like, how many times have you watched this guy play for Club Bruges or whatever? And it's like, come on, bro. Let's be realistic here. Even in the big leagues, it's like someone like myself who watches a lot of football or consumes a lot. I probably watch Barcelona or Real Madrid no more than 7 or 8 times a season. And maybe that's being generous. And that's Real Madrid or Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? So who the hell watches RB Leipzig or, Frankfurt often? It's just, come on, man. People are just deluded. Peter says, I can do better than that. Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what I kind of thought myself. I thought, you know what? I know how to talk. I'm a nice person. I can communicate with a certain demographic of people, and and if you come on and be honest and whatnot. But yeah, when there's people like, yeah, let's buy Diamande or let's buy so and so, and it's like, come on, let's have it right. Absolutely ridiculous takes that you get from people. But yeah, this is what it is. So the keepers are changing. Bayliss coming on. Paulson coming on. The Hey Jude Beatles song rings around the crowd. There are some decent guys though from every club on the tube, even Spurs have expressed. Yeah, he's a joker. He's hilarious. He's such a funny guy. But yeah, there are good. I mean, there's different kind of content providers. People that are very serious. There's people that are very astute with their takes. There's people that are very tactical. So you do get all types. But yeah, just that is one of my bugbears though when it comes to YouTube, when people talk about seeing a player or let's get that player, and I just think to myself, what are the chances that you've seen that player? I just don't believe it. And I know there is going to be, like I said, there's going to be that odd person who will just watch a hell of a lot of football, or watch players from a different league. But I'm just like, nah, not having it. Right, great ball through to Gordon, edge of the box, comes inside, good shot, keeper, Paulson saves. Too direct, straight down the keeper's throat, collects. Good shot though from Anthony Gordon. Good long ball down the left channel by Dan Burn to Gordon, who picks it up. Just one through ball breaks New Zealand, who are trying to break out from the back. Good feet from Bayliss, who's just come on, the number 25. Right, New Zealand, a rare break. Right side. Well defended by Tino Livramento. Dan Burn, the libero. At the back. Yeah, only 10% of Pete's have obsessive knowledge gene. Exactly. So, Ria Ingamara bursting through, chops inside, goes past one, spins and is fouled, surely. Yeah, exactly. It's like, there's obviously going to be those types, but what's the chances of them all being on YouTube? Not on your Nelly. So, great feat from Rio. Turns and spins on the ball. Great skill. Yeah. I think that's the problem as well. People get football is one of those things that whether you played at a decent level or not, or, even if you just played, it's such an open game. And, I know people where I've sat down and had chats with people and I'm like, honestly, what they know about football is like, Jesus Christ. But, not to be disparaging, you don't put them down or anything, but yeah, some of these people with their takes, unbelievable. So England has harassing. Liverpool fan in Japan is exceedingly intelligent. He manages the team to... Oh, does he? Okay. Yeah, I've seen a few bits of his. Yeah, he is a very well-spoken chap. I think it's lovely if you've got a passion for something, whether it's your team, Arsenal or Liverpool, whatever, and you're in a foreign country and you could do something because the level of competition there, he must be so unique over there. Obviously, there's going to be Liverpool fans over there, but how many Liverpool fans would have thought, okay, I'm going to do something around YouTube on it? And obviously, even the name rhymes, doesn't it? The fan in Japan, it just works. I think he made his own database of football, high IQ. Interesting. I remember the reason I saw one of his videos is that he was on... let me just see what happens here. So New Zealand in the box here. If they somehow got a draw out of this game, being the most undeserved draw in football history, I think. So turn back in, but they're trying to finish with a flourish. Oh, it breaks. Are they going to get another shot away? They had a shot that breaks. Oh, good feet there from Jude. Really good feet. Anthony Gordon wide on the left. Bursting clear. Being trapped by 2-3 players. He can't get away. His name's Sai, isn't it? Sai. Ian Kaya makes 1 hour long deep dives on Liverpool too. I've never heard of him. I do rate these people that can go in depth. It's not really my bag personally. Don't get me wrong. You give me a subject, I could sit down and research it, but that's the kind of thing I'd rather consume on a certain level. I wouldn't really want to make it myself. I'd rather have something where I'm just interacting with people myself. I've done a few videos on my channels where I've talked, some basic facts about things and whatnot. But when they go deep, yeah, that's not my bad personally. But yeah, so that guy Sai, the guy, the Liverpool fan in Japan, I saw him on the Anfield Agenda, who obviously you will know. And yeah, he was on there about a year ago. And I thought, okay, maybe they'd do some collaborations and whatnot. And I liked his takes and whatnot. And then he was only on the channel once, and then I saw it again on the channel. One of the callers or the viewers said, "Oh, what happened? I think he's never been Liverpool fan in Japan, never been back on your channel again." And he said, "Well, to be quite honest, I didn't like his attitude." And he didn't kind of back me or something. He said that he didn't kind of back me or went against him or something. I don't know. They had some kind of disagreement or something. So I was like, okay. He said that the agenda wasn't right. That what the guy was. And you never know, because some people will come across like they're nice as pie. But how do you know what they really like and what they're after, and, you know, to work with people, etc. Because like you were saying to me before about the Coppish guys and whatnot, how you like them. And, you know, I'd love to get on their channel one day. That's the goal, and they're not even massive, but I just like those guys. So, yeah. Good ball into the box. Surely Tony, he's got to score that. 7 yards out, but perfect ball across, laid on his right boot, mistimes it, and it goes wide. Oh, he's offside anyway, but he's got to score that. Great ball bent into the box by Jude. Poor finish from Ivan Toney. Lucky as offside. Saved his embarrassment. Matt is a great guy and Cal Drifty too. Not too keen on the chat though. I think the thing is though, it depends as well. It's like I think what's good is that because there's three of them, they can bounce ideas, and I think that's a lot of the thing as well. When you're making content, if you've got someone you can bounce an idea off or talk to, then it can make it more interesting to the viewer if you like their content. What was I going to say? I do like Cal of the three really much because he's really on point. He's someone that works in the media as well. And he's very professional. Matt, not so much. I'm not really a big fan of the slang talk and speech. It's a little bit... You should keep that for private, do you know what I mean? And I like Drifty because he's very good-natured. But he's a bit too rose-tinted. Everything is a bit too pro-positive Liverpool. I think you need to be objective. Look, I want Liverpool to succeed, but I'm not going to stand up here and defend everything Liverpool because you can't let your eyes betray you. It's pointless. Because none of us are going to sit here and look back and say Dejan Lovren was a brilliant defender for Liverpool. He wasn't. He was awful. Martin Skrtel was a bag of problems. Do you know what I mean? So let's keep it actually real. But yeah, like I say, hard not to like them. But yeah, I think it's all about... Oh, mate, Lovren was awful. I mean, it got to the point where... good feet from Rio, trying to make something happen. It got to the point where I came really close to... Very rarely did I diss. And that is full time. Sorry, Peter, 1 second. That is full time. This international friendly has ended with England beating New Zealand 1-0 from a Harry Kane goal set up by Jed Spence. Not the greatest match because it was pretty one-sided. England didn't really have much to deal with New Zealand, and sadly, it wasn't the most competitive match. It was very one-sided. But yeah, Peter, I was saying, Lovren was awful. I've never really despised many Liverpool players, but I didn't like Lovren. He used to get on my nerves. He was awful, just because he shouldn't be there. And it's kind of not his fault. Of course, once you're at Liverpool, you've got to try your best to stay there, right? But I'm trying to think, who in modern times have I really disliked or just didn't want around the team, and you just thought, nah, please get them away from the club? There's someone here now. I don't like all the dislike that Gakpo's getting. I think it's over the top. It's absolutely ridiculous. So no wonder he wants to leave, because he's getting Gakpo is getting he's getting abused really, and it's not really nice. It's that athletic over skill thing. Yeah, exactly. No, that's right. I'm trying to think who in modern times have I really disliked at Liverpool. Gakpo never even got a... Yeah, exactly. He scored 50 goals for Liverpool. 50 goals. he's not even a million miles off of the highest scorers. Do you know what I mean? In Liverpool history, in a way. He'd probably be in the top 100 somewhere. Exactly, you just said it as I've said it. 50 goals, exactly. 50 goals is a lot in 3 and a bit seasons. It's not a bad return, he's good last year. I think I saw a stat of his. 25 goals and goals and assists. Everything's all about that new stat now, GA. But 25, 21, and 21 in his 3 seasons. It's not bad going. He's productive. He knows how to impact a game. He's doesn't always play good, but he'll have an impact on a game. He'll make something happen. He's a good player. But yeah, I feel like his time's up at Liverpool, and they're gonna move him on, whether it's this year or not, or in the summer. But I think they'll definitely move him on. They might even move him on this summer if they get a good bid in for him. But we shall see. Not quite sure. We shall see. But yeah, a lot of Liverpool players, they get away with murder, to be honest. Yeah, that's when they're cutting Cody, isn't it? Yeah, it's the repeated cutting and shooting and hitting legs did for him. Should have mixed his moves up a bit. Exactly, and he's got more about him. But the thing is that he hasn't really pushed on in the last few seasons. But yeah, he's still, once you get past Mo Salah last season, he would have been, I think Gakpo scored more goals than him, didn't he? Overall, I think. Maybe not in the league, but definitely it was either Liverpool's first or second top scorer. I think he was second after Mo. But in the Premier, he might have been Liverpool's top scorer. Oh, can't remember now. Too much of a blur last season, Peter. I just want last season put behind us. But Gakpo's been an okay servant for Liverpool. I suppose it doesn't help when you're following on from Sadio Mane. You're kind of on a hide into nothing, right? So, who's going to come in and be as good as him? And maybe that's what this Yandi Amande is going to suffer when he comes in, if he comes in. Sorry, it's going to take a hell of a achievement to outdo Mo Salah, or even get anywhere near him. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Gakpo. Yeah, Gakpo, a little bit, the criticism he's received, very undeserved, but he's an okay player. But I would move him on, just because the way his career's gone at Liverpool now. Just the way his season's gone, I would move him on. Some of the stuff you're hearing off the pitch, in terms of him not being happy and all the people moaning about it. These guys read and they keep up with social media. His name gets thrown around badly. You said pretty sad Mo's last season. Yeah, it is sad. Hey, Natasha, Spurs have bidded. Natasha, they've actually bid, yeah? No way. Are you serious? I've got to look it up. Let me have a look at that, Natasha. I need to know that. If they have, we have got to take that. Let me have a look. See if I can find it. Do you feel like they're going to, Natasha, or that's what you've heard? Please let me know. Honestly, I would take that. I'm wondering, because Natasha, is that why the rumours of him putting in a transfer request? Because maybe Spurs have kind of spoke to him with agents and said, look, we can bring you in, first team, Spurs under De Zerbi. That's what you've heard. Wow. I mean, if we get offered 73 million for Gakpo, the reason I can believe it, Natasha, as well, is because the other day I was having a few chats with one of my football friends, and they said, have you seen this? And they sent me a link to the BBC, and they showed that Van Hecker, the Brighton centre-back, who we're linked with, who's an okay centre-back, he's not bad, but Spurs had a 70 million bid rejected for Van Hecker from Brighton, who has 1 year left on his contract, but 70 million for a player, and a kind of a good centre-back, but average to a good centre-back. 1 year left on his contract, Van Hecker, 70 million rejected. Football's gone. Football has gone. So if they could bid 70 million for Van Hecker, then they can definitely bid 73 for Gakpo. So I believe you. And I hope that happens. I'd like to see Gakpo moved on, and we use the money, maybe bring in Barcola from PSG, bring in Diamande, 2 exciting fresh wingers, and no more cutting Cody. Yeah, just thanks for the memories. Oh wow, you're right. I'm just looking up now. Peter says hope Gackers goes. Natasha says and Chiesa also wants to leave as his transfer request was blocked by slot in January. Yeah, I heard that one as well. Yeah, Chiesa needs to go. He's a lovely guy. He's got a great song, best song going, but he's not good enough for the Premier League. He's not fit enough. Yeah, Chiesa's song is different class. It's jokes, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, you're right, Natasha. I've just seen the thingy. Tottenham to launch club record 73.5 million bid for Liverpool star who wishes to leave. 73.5 million. Wow. That's incredible. Wow. If we're honest, Natasha, if we get 73.5 million for Gakpo, wow. You bite their hand off. Bite their hand off. Joe Gomez has got to go. We can replace him with a fourth choice player who's fit. I know exactly. Look, I love Joe Gomez. Lovely guy. But once again, he's even worse than Chiesa in the sense that he can't stay fit. What's the point in having him? Because once we get down to needing fourth choice, which we do most seasons, sadly, he can't be called upon. I'd rather have a very average player but it's just available. But honestly, Natasha, I'm blown away by that. 73.5 million for Gakpo. So what I'd like to see is Gakpo moved on. If we can get that money, I'd bring in this Diamande kid and I'd bring in Barcola from PSG. And then you've got two electric wingers that can play both sides, so they can mix it up within the game, swap sides even in game, cover each other. You've got Rio as well. So imagine we could have Rio, Bradley Barcola, and Diamande. Three rapid guys, tricks, all the works. That would be phenomenal stuff. We'd have an amazing attack. Very, very exciting attack. So yeah, hopefully that Gakpo news is true. It is stated Spurs are ready to launch an €85 million stroke 73.5 million bid for Gakpo, who would surpass Solanke as Tottenham's all-time record buy. Wow, De Zerbi is acclaimed to be a long-time admirer of Gakpo, and Tottenham's alleged imminent bid is not a spur-of-the-moment thing. Absolutely incredible. Natasha says Iraola wants Rayan and Krupa to join him at Liverpool. Yeah, he was saying earlier. As I was saying to you though, Rayan I think is a bit too soon. I wouldn't be going for him. But Krupi, I'd love to get Krupi. I just don't know how much they'd charge for Krupi, but I would imagine the way Premier League is, Premier League tax, they're going to want 80 million, aren't they, for Krupi? But yeah, Krupi. But the thing is though, I don't think we will get another striker, not someone of that level, Natasha, because what you'd like to get? Oh, Scott or Anderson or both. It was the thing the other day, wasn't it? Elliot Anderson, Man City had a 105 million bid turned down, so we're not going to go in for that for Elliot Anderson, no chance. But Alex Scott, good player. I'll take him as well. Oh man, it's exciting. All the silly season, the transfer season. Very, very excited. Sorry about that, not the microphone. But the reason I don't think we buy another striker, because obviously we've got Isak, 125 million. Ekitike, I know he's crocked, but we'll have to see. Then I just don't think they're going to spend 70, 80 million on a striker when they've got Ekitike to come back and then Isak. They'll be too well stocked. They need someone who's free. Or someone they will need an older striker to come in for just a season, just to see how Ekitike comes back. Natasha says Lewis Hall and Mateus Fernandes. Oh, I'll take Lewis Hall and Mateus. I'll take both of those. I'd love that. Big money though, Natasha. Peter says we still got the spine. We do have the spine. We do have the spine, 100%. Let's keep Alisson. I'm happy to as I was saying earlier, Natasha, when you said hello, I'm happy to let Marmadashvili go. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's going to cut the mustard. I've seen enough from him this season. He's had enough games to prove to me that he's not of the level. So, yeah, but we've still got a spine with Alisson. Alisson, Van Dijk. We need that midfielder, that player that can sit in front of the back four. So whether that's your Wharton or Alex Scott or a mixture, depending on the formation, with Gravenberch and another. Let McAllister go. Let him go. Legs have gone. And then obviously Isak, Rio, the two wingers maybe, depending, or definitely one Diamande, hopefully Barcola as well. Let Gakpo go. Kelleher, see, this is the thing, Natasha. Why did we not put a buyback clause in Kelleher's contract? We sold that boy for 12.5 million. Absolutely scandalous deal. That's awful. They pulled our pants down with that. Even with a year to go in his contract, he's still 20-25 million keeper. Easy. So why we didn't put a buyback clause in his contract like we did with, well, potentially with Harvey Elliott and who's the other one? Kwanzaa, who was playing in the England game today. You didn't like Kelleher. Interesting. You didn't like him, no? I thought he was a really good keeper. Obviously, once you've got Alisson, he's never going to be that level. Oh, right, yeah, I'd love... Yeah, Morgan Rogers would love that. And we've been linked with him so long, but the news is that he's likely, if he's going to go anywhere, it's going to be Arsenal. The problem is fitting him into our team, Natasha. Is like, because we've got Wirtz in that kind of attacking 10 position, Morgan Rogers can play off the left, but he's not a left winger. He's always kind of gravitate to the middle. And that you can't stop that from players like that. They're always going to gravitate to the middle. It's like Eze, he can play off the left, but really, he's a 10. He's always going to try and come in the middle. So what we'd have Morgan Rogers to the left, and he'd be coming in and taking up the same spaces as Wirtz. And we need Florian Wirtz to work for us. So I don't think Morgan Rogers will work. I don't think we will get Morgan Rogers anyway. Peter says he was quiet as a mouse in front of a world-class defence. Dashvili got lumbered. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. Dashvili got lumbered. Yeah, this is the thing though. That we could have done more to protect the back four and made it easier this season. But yeah, there's something about him. He just doesn't have that presence. He's a big guy, but I've never seen a keeper be so big but have so little presence, if that makes sense, as a keeper. Very strange, Mamardashvili. But he is only young still. Maybe we brought him in too soon. Maybe we should have paid the money, left him on loan like we did for a year. Maybe we left him on loan for a couple of seasons and maybe brought him back when he was 27, 28. But I guess if you're not good enough, like I don't think he is, maybe you're never good enough. I don't know. But yeah, Mamardashvili, I don't think he's going to cut the mustard. Big Nev, best keeper in the world, in the universe. He was amazing. Neville Southall. Natasha says, so on England's performance tonight, how far do you think England will go in this World Cup? The thing is, Natasha, what I would say is, I thought they were quite impressive, but statistically, New Zealand are the worst team in the tournament. They didn't really lay a glove on England. But what I would say, England's got a chance. I think England are the best of the rest. So I think they can definitely get quarters, minimum quarters, possibly semis, depending on the draw. But if they have to get through, say, two top teams to get to the final, I don't think they'd do it. But I think they can definitely get to quarters, maybe the semis absolute best. With a bit of luck, maybe the final and even win it. But my money, personally, is on Argentina. I think Argentina will win the World Cup. And if not them, it's going to be France or Spain. It's going to be one of those three is going to win it. You know, but I think England are the best of the rest. I think they're better than Germany. I think they're better than Brazil. I think Brazil are awful. But yeah. And Natasha, you think Spain? Well, this is the thing. After Argentina, my order is I've got... Don't get me wrong. I think Spain and France, it's going to sound weird. I think Spain and France are better squads than Argentina. But I like Argentina's spine. And I think Argentina have got what it takes. Peter says, that's very embarrassing scoreline. 1-0, should have battered them. They should have done, but it was all low block from New Zealand. It was tough. Natasha, Spain with Morocco as the dark horses. Well, yeah, not bad actually, because Morocco, obviously, they played very defensive football when they got to the semis last time, didn't they? The reason I think Argentina, my opinion on it is, obviously I know Messi's obviously getting older and whatnot, but I still feel like these really true all-time greats, like we saw with Zidane in 2006, there's always that last hurrah. In an all-time great player, there's a last hurrah. That's the first thing. And I think they've got, like you said about spine, Peter, Argentina got the spine. So you've got, and whether you rate these players top tier, they've got some very, very good players. And some of them borderline elite or even world class. So with Argentina, you got Martinez, top goalkeeper. You got Romero, Lisandro Martinez, Enzo Fernandez. So you got the spine there. Midfield, you got Messi, you got Lautaro Martinez. So as a striker, so they've got a proper spine all the way through. They've got a solid spine. So not sure about their right backs or left backs. We've got Rodrigo de Paul as well, good player. Are you doing Brazil against Egypt at 11 tonight? I'm not. I was thinking about it, Natasha. Costalicious says, mate, Tuchel has to go. Do you know something? Costalicious, welcome to the channel, mate. Tuchel, I've never liked him. Never wanted him as England manager. Never rated him as a manager. I know some Chelsea fans are bang up for him, but to be fair, some of the football we played today was actually all right compared to some of the other games that I've seen Thomas Tuchel serve up. But I don't want him as England manager. I'll be glad when his contract's up. And honestly, as much as I didn't like Southgate, I preferred England under Southgate. And I did not like that one bit, Costalicious. So yeah, he needs sacked tonight. There's no way we get out of the group, we'll be eaten alive. I don't think it's that... mate, I'm not worried. I'm not that worried, mate. I think we get out of the group. But obviously, it's all about opinions. But yeah, hopefully we'll get through. It's all going to be about that first game versus Croatia. I know what you mean though, because if we don't get the win against Croatia, then all of a sudden it gets a bit sticky. But yeah, I'm just going to keep the faith. Natasha says it should have been Harry Redknapp back in the day a little bit, good 5-10 years ago. Definitely, they should have given old Harry a chance. Peter says, old Harry, that would have been brilliant. Costalicious says, no mate, you wait and see. I heard he's dropped Lewis Hall in the reserves already. Mate, that one there does wind me up because that one made no sense. Now, there's nothing wrong with Nico O'Reilly because for me personally, I know Nico O'Reilly's a midfielder and Pep played him at left back, Pep doing Pep things. But Nico O'Reilly's a brilliant player. I had him as my young player of the season. But Lewis Hall, in the Premier League, he's the best left back in the Premier League. Or he's definitely top 2. He's an excellent left back. I'm a Liverpool fan, as you can see. And I like Kirkez. But if I could swap Kirkez for Lewis Hall, I'd do it tomorrow. So how that guy did not get taken to the World Cup, mind-blowing. I don't get it at all. I don't get it at all, mate. So yeah, very, very strange, that one. But Tuchel had his favourites. The John Stones one. John Stones played all right in the first half today. But how can you make 4... And look, John Stones, people rate him, they don't rate him. He's a bit Marmite. John Stones started 4 games this season for Man City and he's made the World Cup squad. How does that work? Like you said earlier, Peter, meritocracy. It's nonsense. Meritocracy and form. What happened? But John Stones still made it to the World Cup. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. But they played like this in the World Cup when it was in Africa and England did not get very far, yeah. Well, this is the thing as well. Plus, as well, our boys, we don't do well in a hot climate. So, well, this is why, obviously, a lot of the European teams aren't favoured to win in the Americas or South America. So, but yeah, Costalicious, welcome to the channel, mate. Who's your team? Who's your club team as well? Let us know. But obviously, keep the chat moving regarding any international stuff. Happy to talk about anything. We've got a wide spread of fans on my channel. Not loads, because I'm an emerging YouTube content creator, but trying to make a nice atmosphere for football fans to come in, no matter who we support. Even Millwall, bruv. But yeah, you support Millwall home and away. Lovely to have you, man. And unlucky on the playoffs. How did you feel going into it? Did you feel like you might sneak up? Obviously, because you finished 3rd in the championship season, right? If memory recalls, Millwall finished 3rd. Is that right? The playoffs, such a wonderful system, but it's so harsh. When the 6th place team can be 15 points behind the 3rd place team and still go up. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a mind bender. I don't like to swear, but it's a bit of a mind F, the playoffs. Altitude football, Peter says. Yeah, exactly. Certain places are going to be like that. But yeah, 100%. But yeah, I'm hoping that we do the business, obviously, this summer. Not everyone is, not everyone is an England football fan, but we've got to get behind the boys and bring it home. Do you know what I mean? It's been too long. It's ridiculous. Peter says, Costalicious, a lad off my parking Merseyside, play 60 games for Millwall. Maurice Doyle. We were talking about that, weren't we? We were talking about it yesterday. Costalicious, Peter, who is up from Merseyside, Used to play with Maurice Doyle. Used to play for your boys, Millwall. Costa said, effing gutted. If England don't win the World Cup, I'm quit watching football and going back. You sound like you just want to get back on the hooligan days anyway, mate. Yeah, it's a mad coincidence, Peter. We was talking about Maurice Doyle yesterday, so I'm sure you know who that is, Costi. Yeah, depending on your age and whatnot, a lot of us here are a similar age, kind of like older football fans. No one likes us. We don't care. But yeah, well, some of us are, we're a lot of older fans. I'm not sure how old you are yourself, but mate, I think you might be going back to the hooligan days, bro, because I don't think we're bringing it home. But who do you think's gonna win the World Cup? Costi, what's your thoughts? Natasha, I'm still blown away about the 73.5 million for Gakpo. I can't believe it. You're 8. Behave yourself. Did you miss off a digit? Did your keyboard slip? 8. Was that 38? 48? 28? Jokes. Let me click on your profile. Let's have a look. I can see your face in the corner. Is that yourself there? You're not 88, mate. You're looking too young for 88. Yeah, I see you, bro. I see you. Octogenarian. Yeah, well, you're looking good for 88, my man, if you're 88. But yeah, different world, mate, different times that we're coming from anyway, do you know what I mean? These youngsters don't know how good they got it. But yeah, Natasha, if we get 73.5 million, I'll be amazed. That was at my wedding. I'm divorced now. Oh, I hear you, mate. Yeah, don't worry, I'm in the same boat, mate. Made certain mistakes and whatnot. But this is life, innit? We live to tell the tale, my man. But yeah, welcome to the channel. And if you like a friendly place to have a chat, have a laugh, share some stories, follow the games on my channel. I'm not against any team. Obviously, there's certain teams I don't like. I don't really like Man United, for example, being a Liverpool fan. I don't really like Arsenal. But, everyone's welcome on the channel to have a chat, have a like. So have a chat, have a laugh, talk about things and whatnot. And yeah, it's a nice place, nice community that I'm trying to grow. Peter says 73 mil for Gakpo is a fireworks occasion. Oh, mate, 100%. If Spurs give Liverpool 73 mil for Gakpo, mate, party poppers, champagne, the works. Peter, I know you don't like Tottenham, mate. Costi, I'm sure you don't like Tottenham either, bro. But yeah, you didn't say, how did you feel about the whole playoff situation? But yeah, 73 million for Gakpo, unbelievable money. If we get that, unbelievable money. Smash them up. I hear you, Costi, I hear you. But with yourselves, how's everyone thinking about, obviously, Pete, I know you said about you're not really going to be watching much, you'll be following it. But yeah, Costi, are you looking forward to watching many of the games? You're going to try and watch some of these late night games? Or you just kind of try and stick to the 9 o'clock games? Thankfully, the England games all seem to be scheduled at 9 p.m. So that's good for the country here. So it's good for us. What was the Millwall playoffs? Yeah, mate, I've got my newest block. Okay, I hear that, mate. Good stuff. The playoffs, Millwall, I can't remember. Was it Hull that knocked out Millwall, was it? In the playoffs. Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure, yeah, because Millwall finished third, right? In the championship, pretty sure. Yeah, they finished third. Yeah, so it's Hull that knocked out Millwall. 10 points difference. And Millwall went into the championship playoffs in good form as well. I think they'd won they'd been 4 out of 5 wins or something. Or, they was unbeaten in 5 or something. And Hull went into it on a stinker. But this is the playoffs for you, man. It's a tough going. Yeah, Hull got the win. Yeah, Hull went up, didn't they? So that's the thing in the championship. It's like you need to go up top 2 in the championship, obviously for automatic. But if you finish third, it's like you won't go up. Whoever finishes third never goes up in the championship. It's like a poison chalice. You're better off finishing 5th or 6th. But to Hull and back and best only fools. I've probably seen it, but I don't know what happened in the episode. Scotland slapped Bolivia 4-0. Yeah, so apparently it is legit about Cody Gakpo. They really are after him because the rumours were a week ago, Peter, that Gakpo was unhappy about Slot being sacked. Rumours that he wanted to leave the club, potentially a transfer request, or could you let him go if an offer comes in? So I feel like obviously Tottenham have come in. They've said, look, do you want to come to us? And he's probably said, yeah, I fancy it. Probably didn't enjoy last season at all, getting all the jip off the fans and the online abuse. And now Tottenham are firming up the bid, 73 million for Gakpo. Wow. That's crazy work. If you can get that money, that's crazy work. So yeah. Let's hope it's true, mate. Let us hope it's true. Costy, if you're there, mate, next year in the Championship, do you feel your boys will kind of get over the hurt of the playoffs? Do you think they'll be able to go again, to go out for top 2? What do you reckon? Costy says, yeah, mate, we'll get over it. Just look forward to the West Ham game. Just looking forward to the West Ham game where I'm going to get my fist ready for a brawling, mate. Oh, mate, that's a big point because that's going to be absolute carnage. So basically, like I go past Millwall Stadium quite a lot, and yeah, it's that's going to be tasty. Wow. That is definitely a must-watch when that comes on TV, 100%. Well, I hope you enjoy the game, Peter. Costy, I hope you enjoy the game once you're there. Peter says, I think you missed my comment about the Gakpo interview with the wonderful Ruby Deschamps on LFC official YouTube channel. He's a very nice guy. Where was that, mate? I didn't see that comment. Must have missed that one. But okay. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you know, he's a nice guy, Cody Gakpo. Yeah, Costy. So have you heard about, obviously as well, have you seen, also as well, Pete, have you seen the news about Sullivan, the West Ham chairman and owner, or the part owner, stepped down? There's going to be an amazing programme on Panorama this Monday on the corruption at West Ham. It's going to be box office viewing. So if you can spare the time and you want to watch something really good on football in depth, watch that Panorama programme on the corruption at the top of West Ham. There's so much stuff going on, it's unreal. And it's Sullivan. There's a reason why he's stepped down, because there's all these paedophilia accusations and all this sort of stuff. And the top of West Ham is corrupt. And that's why he stepped down today. So it's like bleeding EastEnders at West Ham. So yeah, seeing West Ham in the Championship next season, yeah, it's going to be mad. It's going to be mad stuff. But yeah, so yeah, boys, if you want to watch a good programme, 9 o'clock, I think it is on Monday, Panorama, the expose on West Ham and David Sullivan and the accusations of what's been going on at the club. It's going to be box office. I'm definitely going to be watching that. As long as it doesn't clash with any good football friendlies, that is. What have we got there? Right, so I'm just going to chat away for a few more minutes and then I'm going to have to call it a night. But yeah, it's a decent little follow on. Lovely to have the people in, chatting away. Lovely that you dropped in near the end, Costy. Hopefully I can see you again sometime, mate. It'd be lovely to have you in the chat. Share a laugh with your mature self and your Millwall bantering ways. And yeah, it'd be lovely, like I said, it'd be lovely to have you in. So feel free to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for notifications. It'd be lovely to have you in again, my man, and have a little chat. Do love to see fellow Londoners in as well. I know I'm a Liverpool fan, you can tell by the accent, but it is what it is. We love the game. But yeah, London born and bred, from Hackney myself. So yeah, always like to see fellow Londoners about. Got that camaraderie like we all do when we come across people from the same part of the world as us. Costy says, cheers mate, got the block in, so I'll power through that before getting on. Few beers, offer a scrap this evening, so just getting. Mate, you're on one, bro, you're on one. Well, you have a good one, you stay safe, mate, you stay safe. And and you look after yourself. So yeah, Costy, mate, drop a like on the video, subscribe, and next time you're in, I want to know that you came back safe, mate. So make sure you subscribe. Then at least I know once you pop in next time, you made it out of the scraps field tonight. Where are you off to tonight, Costy? Let me know. Peter says, I'll try and get some of our generation into the chat next time. If you can, Peter, it'll be nice, mate. It's all. I like this video, mate. Don't worry, I'll be safe. They won't be. Joker, mate. You just look after yourself. Keep a look around. Remember, there's cameras everywhere, bro. Big brother is watching you. Everyone's watching. Jokes. Costa keeps his guard up. He seems like he knows how to look after himself. So, yeah, I'm sure he'll be all right. Right, on that note, gentlemen, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll just do my outro. England have gotten through their first international friendly. There's one more coming up in a few days. I think England's got, remind me boys, I think it's Chile. I think it's Chile they got in another warm-up game. Anyway, England's got one more warm-up game before. I'll be real, mate. I've taken a piss all the time. Good stream, man. No worries, bro. No worries. It's all good, bro. It's all a laugh at the end of the day. It's all banter, mate. But like I said, mate, you're welcome anytime, like I said. Thanks for dropping a like on the video. If you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Lovely to have you in. Have a laugh as well. I knew you went 88, pulling my plonker, but that's all right. You're a Liverpool fan, yeah? Not a Millwall fan. I'll be... This guy. You legend. But that's all good, bro. Hopefully I'll see you again, mate. We can talk it up. And yeah, so England got through the game. Okay performance, but we need to see more. And hopefully we'll do in the next international friendly before the World Cup kicks off next Thursday. So it's going to be good. Yeah, I know, he's double bluffing. He's double bluffing. A waffler knows a waffler. So it's all good. But yeah, on that note, I'm being legit, sweet man, good to drop by. Just in a piss take mood. I do actually love Tuchel. No, I don't know, bro. I'll stick by that. I want him gone, bro. I'm not having him. Obviously, I want him to win the World Cup because I want us to win the World Cup. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Tommy Tukes, mate. He's got to go, bro. He's got to go, especially for the money he's getting paid for what they're serving up. Nah, mate. I'm not having it. No chance. All right, he picks who he wants. I do like that part of it though, in terms of like. He stands by his decision. I still think he should have took Lewis Hall, but he didn't want to take him, and he wanted Stones in over Maguire. I feel like Maguire had an okay season for Maguire. He deserved his spot, but I can't have the John Stones thing and the Lewis Hall thing. But it is his decisions, like you say. He's a man that sticks to his principles, but it's the anti-football I'm not a fan of. Oh, and I'm not scrapping, I'm playing COD. And you're only 78, not 88. But no, I hear that. Playing COD Zombies. Joker. well, I hope you're looking forward to the thing. On my channel, I do a bit of video gaming as well. And I'll be playing the new GTA 6 when it comes out. 87, this guy. And I'll be probably checking out, what's it called? Oh, he's saying, because I'm young looking as well, he's saying like, I'm VAS as well. Because I'm a veteran arcade soldier that plays games as well, so yeah. But I'll definitely be playing the, I'll be checking out the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 when it drops. I'll find you online. I'll find you, better duck and dive, mate. Take you out, mate. AK. But yeah, all good, all good. To your 87-year-old self. But yeah, good chatting to you, boys. Good chatting to you, and hope to catch you on the next one. So on that note, my name is Ade. I'm the veteran arcade soldier, and I'll bid you boys a good night. Thank you and take care, and look after yourself. Cheers, brother. Thanks a lot, man. You look after yourself. Enjoy your gaming. Stay away from the blocks, and take care. Yeah. See you soon, boys. Take care. Adios, Pete.